important little things like new wipers, stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella.
Great seats, dude. But I gotta ask, how'd you score the tickets?
Dude, I got them from work.
From work?
Yeah, man. I work for Smentech in Indianola, and free tickets are available to all employees for Iowa ISU football, Iowa Wild, Iowa Wolves, and the Iowa State Fair.
So you're saying all I gotta do is work at Cementech in Indianola and I could be scoring free tickets?
Smentech also offers free medical insurance premiums and annual educational scholarships awarded to children of employees.
Cementech in Indianola, you said?
Yeah, check them out at cementech.com. Click on the careers and find out for yourself.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Raceway Tire and Exhaust couldn't be happier that it's here. In Knoxville, our highly trained auto experts are reflecting back on 2021 and looking forward to the year to come. From all of us here at Raceway Tire and Exhaust, thank you for choosing us to be your auto service provider. We appreciate your business and look forward to serving you again in 2022. From our family to yours, have a safe and happy new year.
Raceway Tire and Exhaust.
We got what you need
to get you on the go.
What are you craving right now? If you're in the Pella area, chances are that you can have it delivered right to you right now from our friends at Delivery.com. With more than a dozen local restaurant partners, you can get everything from a pastry and coffee to pizza, tacos, pasta, sandwiches, wings, burgers, steak, sushi, and more. Don't forget the cupcakes or ice cream for dessert. It's all available at Delivery.com, and they'll bring it right to you at your home or office or wherever you are in the Pella area. Check them out today, Delivery.com.
This is the Captain Side of Pella Radio postgame show. As we told you, expanding and enhancing your ideas beyond your expectations. Let's go ahead and briefly take a look at our final stats presented by the Reduff Agency. Big night for JoJo Bice, 19 points after a big performance versus Carlisle. 12 for Bailey Birmingham, 11 for Ava Johnson to lead the way, 15 points for Jocelyn Terpstra to lead the way for PC, 6 for Faith Kakmarinsky. Your final stats presented by the Reduff Agency. Let Chad, Lance, or Larry examine your stats and customize an insurance plan for you. The Reduff Agency, providing complete courteous service to the Pella area for 100 years. Quickly, Chris, our Greg Young Chevrolet radio key play and player of the game for Norwalk. I thought that sequence for JoJo Bice, the three-pointer into the steal, into the layup, was that key moment where we said, okay, this game's over, and then JoJo was our key player of the game. I just thought, coming off of 1,000 points, it can go one of two ways, right? Either too much relief where you kind of get lax, or you're motivated, and you kind of said it, mentally for her, it feels like kind of lifted off her shoulders, and she's playing some good basketball.
Beautiful night for her, you know. And what was nice about JoJo tonight, I felt like she was a great scorer for us, but it didn't feel like it was all about her scoring, right? You know, she was playing great defense and she was getting other people involved. It was aggressive, but not too much. It wasn't, you know, for lack of a better word, obnoxiously aggressive, right? You know, she played within rhythm with the rest of her team, which is what you want to see. Great job by JoJo.
And she's our Norwalk Greg Young Chevrolet radio key play and player of the game. Let Greg Young Chevrolet in Norwalk go the extra mile for you with award-winning customer service, thousands of vehicles to choose from, and always here community care. Greg Young Chevrolet in Norwalk. Our Pella Christian Hormel Foods radio key play player of the game. It still remains Jocelyn Terpstra, 15 points, 4 steals. You know, at some point I feel like this Eagles team, they're going to break through against an opponent. And I see Des Moines Christian Monday at the Well for them. That's going to be a big one. And a doubleheader and a chance to play at Wells Fargo, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think, for all the kids involved. You know, Coach Ingber's obviously knew that this year wasn't going to be the year, but it feels like there's still growth to be had for him in his program, and Jocelyn's going to lead the way on it.
Yeah, I thought, I told you a little bit earlier, I thought she just played a really nice game. You know, some of her points came late, and she got to the free throw line late, but that's a compliment to her, right? Because it would have been a really easy game for her to kind of quit going. You know, Norwalk can run a lot of good athletes at her, and she was getting hounded by one, and then she'd have second line of defense waiting for her if she was able to get by that first line of defense. So that's really a compliment to her that she kept playing hard. And then not just when her offense wasn't going, she was still, you know, getting steals and being the best defender for Pella Christian. So big props to her. It's not easy when you're going through a season like that, and she's still playing at a really high level. So, yeah, let's give a big shout-out to her, and keep working hard, Jocelyn. You're doing a good job.
Your Hormel Foods radio key play and player of the game. Looking for a key to you and your career? Visit HormelJob.com. That'll wrap up our Cabinet Design of Pella Radio postgame show, where they expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations. Call Mike Blom, the Cabinet guy at Cabinet Design of Pella. Norwalk is next in action in a huge showdown in a battle for fourth place over at Pella High School Tuesday with the Dutch and the Warriors over there. As we mentioned, Pella Christian takes on Des Moines Christian, which that's a huge boys matchup now all of a sudden. We'll talk about that here in just a moment in our pregame coverage on 92.1 KRLS. We got to step aside, get ourselves reset and refocused. We got another great Little Hawkeye Conference boys basketball game ahead of us. I'm feeling it, Chris. It's Pella Christian versus Norwalk, rotation number 2 on the other side, after a final score for the Warriors girls, 59-29.
The new year often brings colder temperatures to Iowa, which means snow and ice. Even though we work hard to keep the lights on, sometimes Mother Nature has another plan in store. If your power goes out, give us a call to let us know, and then hang tight while we fix power lines. If there is a large storm, follow us on Facebook for power restoration updates. And remember to stay away from any down power lines outside. Assume it's live and not safe. Looking out for you, we're Pella Cooperative Electric.
Van Manen, Seedstra, Meyer, and Nickel may be a long name, but they serve businesses and individuals with both short and long names. When you let the professional CPAs at Van Manen, Seedstra, Meyer, and Nickel both save you time and give you peace of mind, you'll have more time to do the things that are important to you, like grow your business, spend time with your family, or volunteer in the community. You'll even have enough time on your hands to say their full name.
Save time and gain peace of mind with Van Manen, Seedstra, Meyer, and Nickel.
At Vision for Less, it's just the right price. 2 pairs of glasses start under $40 and 2 pairs of progressives start under $80. Using insurance? We accept over 1,000 plans, and using your benefits is as easy as 1, 2, 3. No insurance? No problem. We've got glasses to fit your budget. It's just the right price. Only at Vision for Less. Right glasses, right price, right now.
When you are in an accident and suffer a serious injury, you need serious representation. The Windjam Law Firm attorneys in Norwalk are experienced trial lawyers who have spent their careers in this area of law. Call Ken Windjam at 515-981-5220 to find out how the Windjam Law Firm can help. Ken spent many years as a lawyer for insurance companies. Now he uses his knowledge and experience to obtain the very best results for injured people. The Windjam Law Firm. They used to work for them, now they work for you.
When the moment arises and it's time for a new roof, think Randall Roofing. This is Randy Jarzambek, owner of Randall Roofing, and we are the dependable and reliable leader for your home or business shingle roofing needs in Pella and the surrounding areas. Randall Roofing is proud to sponsor the Raise the Roof moment of the game and support our local teams. When it's time for a new roof, think Randall Roofing. Find us on Facebook or visit randallroofs.com. Thinking new roof? Think Randall Roofing.
Unity Point Clinic Norwalk provides family medicine for people of all ages in Norwalk and the surrounding area. Conveniently located at 801 Colonial Circle and open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30 and Fridays, 7:30 to 5. Unity Point Clinic Norwalk can provide a variety of services for your physical, emotional, and mental health needs such as routine checkups, immunizations, annual physical exams, and other preventative care. Their board-certified providers can also care for injuries, acute medical conditions, and chronic diseases. When it comes to your health, trust the professionals at Unity Point Clinic Norwalk. Remodeling can be a headache, especially when you're trying to work around your contractor's schedule. You don't have to worry about that with Mike Blom with Cabinet Design of Pella and Wood Harbor Cabinetry. Just ask Deb Shaw of Pella.
Mike was always very accommodating to our schedule. Anytime that we set up a time to meet, he always wanted to make sure it worked for us. Most of our meetings were in the evening, and it never bothered him to come out and be out here.
Hi, I'm Mike Blom, the Cabinet Guy. Cabinet Design of Pella, where we expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations.
Planting 1,000 trees on our cattle farm to block the breeze? It makes for good neighbor relations, and my numbers were good. So Bank Iowa said, let's make it happen.
A revolutionary roll-on butter product that takes the mess out of corn on the cob. Makes sense, right? My business plan and numbers are solid. So Bank Iowa said, let's make it happen.
Stop by your local Bank Iowa or visit us online at bankiowa.bank. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. All loans are subject to approval.
And this is the Knoxville Hospital and Clinic's Red Rock Clinic Pella Radio pregame show. They are your cornerstone to health. Andrew Schneider and Chris Larson here for the nightcap. and what should be a pretty good contest between two longtime foes. In fact, the longest-running Little Hawkeye Conference rivalry in history, as we have the two oldest teams in the conference that remain standing here. The Warriors, one of the originals, and Pella Christian, who joined in the early 90s. And here with Chris Larson, as we look at our PC and Norwalk keys to this game, this is the opponent you probably played the most or coached against the most. Certainly maybe between them and Pella in terms of postseason and all the above. You're very familiar with Eagle Lane. Of course, new head coach J.D. Bohr in his second season has brought a new energy to this program. And I'm guessing you liked what you saw from this Eagles team first time around.
Absolutely. I was kind of just thinking about a little fun fact. This will be, though, the first time that Norwalk team's ever played in this gym without me being the coach, because I helped open this gym whenever. I think that would have been, 08, 09, something like that?
Not just over a decade ago,
Yeah, and that actually was, I think they were ranked number 1 in 2A, and we were ranked maybe 2 or 3 in 3A that year, so it was a great game. Getting back to this game, the first time they matched up, it was one of the classic, Norwalk Pella Christian games. Pella Christian, with all their size, with all their strength inside, thinking that, it was going to be a really tough matchup for Norwalk. Well, Norwalk did everything they needed to do to stay in that ball game. They spread the court. They got really good shots for each other. They took care of the basketball. Remember what we talked about in the girls' game that Pella Christian girls need to do? That's what Norwalk needs to do. Spread the floor and take care of the ball, and then get good shots and then knock down a few, right? Because they have, one of the premier guards in the conference in Reddick Board, and he was really feeling it that night. And then on the defensive court side of the floor, then you can muddy up the game, and that's what they did in the first game, made it for a really, really close game. I'm sure Pella Christian wants to get up and go a little bit and use their physicality, because they're going to definitely be more physically dominant than the Warriors tonight.
Our Greg Young Chevrolet Norwalk radio keys to the game. Let them go the extra mile for you with award-winning customer service, thousands of vehicles to choose from. And always here, Community Care, Greg Young Chevrolet Norwalk. Warriors boys in 5th place in this conference, and that's nothing to shake your hat at.
Right.
Tied with Newton, obviously two very solid teams there in 3A and 4A. Pella Christian in 4th place right now. If they're able to run the table or do something close, they still have an outside shot to factor into the conference final standings. And as we look at our PC Hormel Foods radio keys to this game, it feels like, Chris, that Pella Christian is just on the cusp of something more. They've been close with the top 3 teams in this conference. They've been close with the 2 5th-place teams in this conference. But with the Division I post player and some of the talent that they have shown on the outside with Levi Skelhaus, who's going to Dartmouth Track, it feels like, Chris, this Eagles team is going to be a really tough out in Class 2A.
Yeah.
And in this conference, second half of the season.
Absolutely. Obviously tonight's a big matchup, right? It's a big matchup in the Little Hawkeye Conference. You kind of previewed, though, Monday night will also be fun for a little bit further down the road with Des Moines Christian, who's coached actually by a former Pella Christian Eagle, Jason Van Mersbergen, who I actually had in little kids camp back when he was a youngster.
And played against you for 4 years
and then
here.
He played here. Really good player. And talk about 2 of the top teams in 2A in Central Iowa, right? And when Pella Christian always has that advantage when they start playing 2A is they're going to be battle-tested because they have 12 experiences on top of, playing Des Moines Christian,
And Van Meter coming up, too.
Right, and so they've played all those 2 teams, but they've also gotten to just get calloused and toughened. And so these experiences for them are only going to make them better down the road. And it's fun to watch them grow. And I can just, you remember last year on this court, this game came down to, I think we hit a shot with 5 seconds left to take a lead, and then Scalehaus took hit a 3 from about 35 feet to win it for you guys, which hopefully we see the same type of theatrics tonight. Just hopefully maybe the Warriors can come out with a win.
That's what Chris is hoping for, and obviously our Pella and Pella Christian fan sitting over here hopes the opposite. But always in this conference expecting a really good game. And those were your Pella Christian keys to the game presented by Hormel Foods. Find the key to your next career at hormeljob.com. And speaking of Monday's game, that's going to be the likely sub-state matchup. That's what makes it even more huge, is those 2 teams will have to play each other on February 26th, somewhere between here and Urbandale to go to state, which has happened many times in their history. Nothing new, especially with the geography bindings that they have in those games. Let's go ahead and take a look at your game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating, as it looks like Pella is just not quite able to get over the top, but they made a huge game out of it. It was 55-52, Chris, on our Strawberry Cellular Instant Radio update. With 30 seconds left, Pella missed back-to-back threes to tie it. Indianola escapes with a 52-50 or 57-52 win.
I will tell you, I'm really looking forward to that girls' game on Tuesday.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun calling that one, and I just think it's going to be just a classic game. Like I said, it's not the top of the conference, but it is two teams that are really fighting to get there, which sometimes are just as much fun. Right, yeah.
A lot of fun coming up on Tuesday. Our game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating, still 12 degrees outside. Always comfortable to call games from Eagle Lane. Folks, if your home isn't staying comfortable during what has been a cold Iowa winter, trust the heating and cooling experts at Van Haften Plumbing and Heating in Pella. You'll rest easy when you pick up the phone and hear.
Van Haften.
We are live inside our Knoxville Hospital and Clinic's Red Rock Clinic Pella radio pregame show. Let's go ahead and take a look first at your colors of the game presented by Pella Engraving and Sign. Warriors have this kind of deep gray, silverish look going on. I like it. It's very sleek with the black numbers and the kind of lighter gray trim. So the Warriors, is this the all grays or silvers?
A fan? You're a fan, huh? You're a fan?
I just wish the light gray was white so I could read the numbers a little bit better.
Coach Pelzer, he's a little more hip, a little more modern than me.
Yeah,
That's
I was
what
about
he would
to say.
tell you. And so, I was a little bit like, I don't know. I like to, I don't know if I'm quite that hip, but, hey, the kids like it, so that's good.
And then we have the junior Eagles joining the big Eagles who are in their home white uniforms with the maroon and the gold. Your colors of the game presented by Pella Engraving and Sign, whether it's the colorfully designed event banner, car wrap, or business sign, let the professionals at Pella Engraving and Sign bring it to life. Your starting lineups are presented by Miniga Pest Control and Coach Larson letting you know of a change. Cade Bransfield not able to make the trip tonight, so Jack Brown gets the start. As he mentioned, Reddick born. Yes, that's the same born Pella Christian fans that you saw for many, many years in Reddick, obviously forming his own great career at 14.1 points per game. Number 0, a sophomore. Jack Brown, a junior guard at 5'10", number 1. Braden Carlson, who's leading the team in scoring, the junior talented multi-sport athlete. Braden with 15 points per game, number 2. It's Vinny Morrow, speaking of talented pitchers. Look out for him this summer. The senior forward at 6'3", and Aiden Harder, the sophomore guard at 6'3", wearing number 32. For Pella Christian, their standard 5. At point guard, senior number 3, Levi Skelhaus, the now Dort track signee, and obviously dominating the Blue Oval a season ago. Nico Schurz, the forward at 6'7", number 4. Jaden Heisman, a senior guard at 6'5", number 5. Aiden Stoltz, also a sharpshooter at 6 foot tall, a junior guard, number 15. And the future Division I post, Eric Mulder, first team all-conference selection a year ago. Mulder, number 32. Your starting lineups presented by Miniga Pest Control. Sean and his team want to kill your bugs. Call 628-3198 for Miniga Pest Control. See, I should have let them sing it. I get too excited sometimes. As we're live inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth, that is going to wrap up our Knoxville Hospital and Clinic's Red Rock Clinic Pella radio pregame show, your cornerstone to health. And, of course, as always, on a Friday night, this gym filling up a little bit nicer, a much nicer crowd coming in on hand, especially here for PC on Youth Night. So much fun to be here with Chris Larson. Chris, I've called a lot of your games, and it feels like every time I had you on the sideline, it felt like we turned into some sort of overtime. My first ever Norwalk broadcast, first time I ever interacted with your team, 5 overtimes in this very spot, 6 or 7 years ago now.
That game, we just had a 4 overtime game with DCG. And,
I was listening along.
Almost got there, but yeah, that was still a record for me. 5 overtimes that night. That was that one was one. It was an amazing night. Both teams just were duking it out back and forth. This place has really given us some great memories. And really. 2 really good programs over the years.
You and I will talk about that again on Tuesday, because the same thing is true with you and Pella, of course, over the years as well. Your opening tip is presented by Dutch Mill Supply. Dutch Mill Supply is your only locally owned lumberyard and building material supplier, but we've got the new bloods here in the Little Hawkeye Conference. J.D. Bourne, Aaron Pelzer, side to side. Your opening tip is presented by Dutch Mill Supply as Braden Carlson and Eric Mulder center circle. As we get underway for the second rotation of the Little Hawkeye Conference season. It's a classic rivalry renewed. Pella Christian Norwalk live on KRLS, and the Eagles will control our opening tip. It's Aiden Stoltz Top of the circle here for Pella Christian. Eagles at 9-3 overall. They're 4-3 and in 4th place at the Little Hawkeye Conference. And there's a shot that misses, but a foul called, and 2 shots coming. Setting up our halftime interviews with Jill Martin and Brad Ingers. We're going to have to move them along quickly to get them both in there, but obviously excited. I have yet to meet Jill. I've called probably, she's been here the 5th year now?
I think it's actually year 6, but
so
I was trying to figure that out on the drive down.
I think I've called 8 or 9 of her games between Pella and Pella Christian over the years, and have a ton of respect for her and the program she's built. 1-0 for
big concern
Mulder.
for the Warriors right there. Not the start we wanted to get off to. We cannot let Braden get in foul trouble there against Mulder, and that's a tough matchup. And we really got to keep an eye. We cannot let him get in foul trouble.
Carlson gets the rebound, but it's 1-0 Eagles. 7:41 remaining. Warriors down the floor quickly.
A little 2-2-1 pressure from the Eagles off the miss.
And I'll tell you what, if you want a difference in clash and style on the sideline, you coach against Larry Hessing maybe more than any coach in the conference. J.D. Bohr, a little more pep in his step. Not that both are great coaches, but both do it very differently.
Yeah, you know what,
You see Coach Bohr, he's playing
a little more
defense with his team.
animated. I'll give him that. But people, Larry got after it a little more than,
It's just harder to hear him from up here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Larry's a good friend.
And
so
we
I
were
can say
older, right? We got old.
Yeah, you old guys, whatever. Here's Skelhaus, center of the lane, kicks it out to Heisman. Heisman, stutter step, out to Schurz. Schurz, baseline, between the circles, works it right side of the brick, spin move, and an offensive foul.
Kind of interesting, You watch the girls' game and all the contact they kind of let, and then they start the boys' game off with 2, I'd call them a little bit ticky-tack fouls, right?
The Warriors have been the scrappy underdogs. Weird to say that after many years near the top of the conference. It knocked off Pella, the only conference loss for the Dutch thus far. We'll see if that changes against Indianola tonight in what should be a doozy of a game across town on KNIA-KRLS.com and Pella Dutch Live. That's on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, where they're serving you in building community across the Red Rock area.
Remember, Andrew, we said turnovers, right? And that's a big part of the game right there. We cannot lose possessions like that.
Especially to an Eagles team
No.
that it feels like, Chris, like I said, is on the cusp of something more the second half of the season. They feel like they're going to be a tough team, although Reddick Bourne, showing off his great athleticism, gets the steal. Not able to complete it in transition, but possession to the Warriors.
I like Coach Pella Christian going to 32. Why can I not think I know him? Mulder, sorry. Like to go inside to him early. I just think he's such a phenomenal player, and I think they're better when he touches the ball.
And I think that's when they've had their successes, when the offense goes inside and out.
I agree.
And that's Aiden Harder who knocks it in for 2. Aiden's a nice kid, but, I prefer it spelled with the E, but that's only because I'm a dad of an
That's
Aiden.
right.
And there's Skelhaus, misses short. Good rebound there by Carlson. And that's another big key. If they can keep the rebound battle somewhat close, Norwalk's in this one.
Yep. 2-3 zone here off a miss for Pella Christian. Obviously, they have that big length.
And that length knocks it out of bounds as Harder on the baseline was looking for an outlet. 5:35 remaining. Warriors a 2-1 lead.
You'd see Coach Pelzer kind of grimace after that. Just like, take care of the ball, fellas. Let's get good shots every possession.
5:32 in the corner. Bourne for 3, no good. And the rebound goes to Stoltz.
Norwalk really getting back in transition. Doesn't want to allow anything and make Pella Christian earn buckets down here.
Here's Heisman to Schurz. Schurz, 6'7", the compliment to Mulder. And then a quick reach-in foul from behind as Jack Brown not able to keep up with the speed of Skelhaus.
Yeah. Good job. Good ball movement by Pella Christian. Got Skelhaus coming off the double screen. And obviously Norwalk having to do a lot of help side with Mulder as well.
Another Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update. Knoxville 59, Davis County 51 in girls action. And then Bourne gets tasked with a foul on Heisman. And so the fouls racking up here on the 3 guards for the Warriors. Kind of a tough little early stretch here. And again, it's in stark contrast to what we saw in the girls game. That a lot quicker whistle here. 2-1, 5:07. And this is a standard conference crew. So they know the pace of the game. But sometimes it just, what's a foul one night? It may not be another. or in a game. In the side, here's Heisman, left hand, good touch mid-range.
Yep.
Jaden Heisman pours it in. Eagles back on top, 3-2.
Jaden had a really big game at Norwalk the first time, so he likes what he sees when he plays Norwalk.
Pella Hy-Vee game reset. Eagles 3, Warriors 2. 4:42 remaining in the first. Shot blocked by Heisman. Coming on the corner for Harder, and it's a rebound to Aiden Stoltz. And here come the Eagles. Heisman for 3, no good.
Oh,
and
wow.
Mulder was looking for the putback on the rebound. 5 on 4 as he flies out of bounds, and Reddick Bourne. I think a good foul there on Stoltz to slow up the game there because they were 5 on 4 for a second as Mulder nearly skied to get that one up.
He was up there a ways. He is a big physical guy. I know that they are going to love him at IUPUI, I think is. I think I got them all, right?
Yep.
And he has just gotten better and better each year. So impressed with his game and how he's progressed as a player.
3-2, 4:23 remaining here in the first. You're listening to Pella Christian Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on FM 92.1 KRLS, Knoxville Pella, KRLS HD1 Knoxville Pella. Bank Iowa, where they say,
let's make it happen.
Right side Bourne, 3 on the way, contested, rims out, no good. There's Mulder, 3 rebounds already for Eric. 4 minutes remaining in the first. Here comes Tyson DeVries, shuffles it out to Levi Skelhaas. Eagles going to their bench. Danny Andringa also on the floor. Here's Skelhaas, fakes the defense out, but shot too short. And Vinny Morrow, the very talented pitcher, gets the rebound.
I think both teams would take those shots every possession, though. They're happy with the shots, just didn't make them.
3:45 remaining, and of course it's been an 8-day layoff for these Eagles, and even a kind of an extended layoff this point in the season for 3 days of practice in between. DeVries gets the rebound here
nice
for PC.
Set play by Coach Pelzer there, and just couldn't convert the layup.
And couldn't convert the shot on the other side for Skelhaas as Bourne comes up with his second rebound. Both these teams, Chris, getting good looks, just nothing falling. 3-2 Eagles.
And a big part of that's the athleticism on both sides on defense, right? It's easy to sit and just think you're going to finish everything, but
there's Landon Edwards. Speaking of some size coming off the bench at 6'6".
Yep, nice inside out there. Good pass by Braden Carlson.
4-3 Warriors. We've had nothing but lead changes so far in terms of our offensive possessions.
Another familiar name, right? The Carlson family.
Yep.
You're gonna hear about them for many years to come. Good sister coming up, and another good brother. Ethan, playing football at Iowa Central Community College, was a great 3-sport athlete for the Warriors over the last 3 or 4 years.
2:58 remaining here in the first. In case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic, a 59-29 win for the Warriors girls in our opener. That was, in case you missed it,
they're the Veterinarians
at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. Skelhaas off a screen, 3, no good. Danny Andringa clears the rebound. Mr. Hustle for PC.
Yeah.
And that is the Andringa family of Vermeer, in case you were familiar or not, just to give you your trivia.
Yep. I appreciate that.
Dad Jason is a former athlete here on Eagle Lane. Yep.
A nice inbounds play there by Coach Bohr, and just Norwalk
travel.
Norwalk has got to clean up the defensive rebound, so that's going to be something for us to keep an eye on. Those second chance points over a game is going to really hurt us if we don't get that taken care of.
Live inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth, it feels like these teams testing the waters against each other, but not much happening yet on the scoreboard. 4-3.
Coach Bohr goes to man-to-man now.
Of course, this Eagles team, their only 3 losses have come to 3 championship contenders in other classes in the top 3 teams in this league. Bourne with nifty pass out to Edwards, inside out, back to Bourne in the corner, shot fake. Baseline, wraps it around to Morrow. Morrow dribble drive around the defensive Mulder for 2.
Good take by Vinny. Really strong physical kid.
Here's Skelhaas out to Mulder. Mulder whips it out to Bennett Sprunk. And Coach Bohr going pretty deep to his bench here.
Good.
Here's Skelhaas, dribble, drive, in traffic, finally gets it to go. Skelhaas, good touch for 2.
Okay, getting warmed up a little bit. Everybody loosening up just a little bit. Interesting down here, I couldn't quite figure out what they were in. They were in man, but then they almost transitioned into zone. I think maybe Mulder's just kind of almost playing a one-man zone. He's guarding Edwards, but then really getting off and almost just playing off on everybody else.
I was about to say, when you're 6'9", and no fouls on you yet, you're kind of looking for that big block shot to turn things around. Here's Bourne near the half-court line. Fun to keep adding the name Bourne to the airwaves. It's been on almost my entire career. 1:26 remaining here in the first. Bourne trying to shake off the defender and then called for the carry and the second Warriors turnover.
So you're going to see a little cat and mouse game to keep your eye on, right? So Coach Pelzer wants to get Mulder as far out the court, and that time Mulder did come out with him, so he wants to get him out under that basket by using on-ball screens and then seeing if we can get an attack before he can get back to the basket. So if you're watching online, keep an eye on that. That's just kind of the game within the game.
6-5. DeVries, dribble drive, smallest man on the floor, hits it off the top of the backboard. I was about to say they needed to call that because Schurz got the cleanup, but it hit off the top of the backboard. So a team rebounded Norwalk after a shot by Tyson DeVries at 5'7", one of the better athletes in this school, just a little undersized at times, but obviously growing at this varsity level. And he'll be a big player for the Eagles next couple of seasons. Already is this year, but more so when some of the size evaporates and they got to play a faster game. Outside, off the screen, three is on the way, and it's in for Vinny Morrow. 5 points, and the largest lead for the Warriors at 4, 9-5. 53 seconds remaining here in the first. Here's DeVries on the other side out to Sprunk. Sprunk down low to E.J. Franzman. Franzman caught it with his chest, but I think was kind of bailed out in the foul there by Edwards, because I think that Franzman was about to lose that ball. Hit right on the 2-2, didn't get his hands on it, Chris, but then was bumped from behind.
Yeah, really good start for the Warriors. Andrew, I want you to take a really good look at Cam Thomas out there. He's a freshman that's going to be in the rotation for the Warriors right there, number 21.
Yes.
Just remember him in 4 years, because he's going to probably look closer to Mulder in 4 years. And he's going to fill out into that body. He's a really good player, but he's a little lanky and skinny right now. He is going to be a strong, athletic kid here in 3 years, though.
You're telling me they got those at Norwalk, because it feels like that's the case all the time.
Right? Yes,
when you build a program, that's what happens. 20 seconds remaining here in the first. And that's, been the fun. Again, sometimes programs can't be afraid to play some of those freshmen. And you, when you've seen those talented players over the years, did the same. And by the time they're seniors, they're lethal, because they've seen it all, right, in those 3 years before.
Well, Warriors, especially when you can just sprinkle them in here and play with some other good upperclassmen, right?
Warriors were holding for a final shot. It's blocked.
Nothing hurt.
I think they wanted it quicker. Schurz will get the block shot off just before the horn. Defense dominating early. It's 9-5 Warriors on top of the Eagles inside our Pella Real Estate Services broadcast booth.
I'm Kathy, and this is my Kinetic Edge story. I came to Kinetic Edge after having pain and many movement issues. They took the time to evaluate my problems. They really listened to me and wanted to help me get back to living a pain-free life. I would recommend Kinetic Edge 10 out of 10. I have seen functional improvement in my entire well-being, both mental and physical, and I'm enjoying life again. If you have pain and movement issues like I did, you should call Kinetic Edge 2, 621-0230.
Even a mild winter can take a toll on your roof. Between the freeze and the thaw, you may need new shingles. Certainly, if you're going to get new shingles, you're going to get CertainTeed shingles from Dutch Mill Supply in Pella. CertainTeed Roofing offers a wide array of residential roofing shingle options.
Dutch Mill Supply, located in Pella, is your only locally owned, one-stop, full-service lumberyard and building material supplier. My name is Joshua Payne. My staff and I are here daily for professional service from the guy next door. Our product line is diverse, and we'll get you what you need quickly and at a competitive price.
You're listening to Pella Christian Eagles basketball inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. This video stream broadcast presented by Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, thanks to Kenyon Geetings and Frank Vandenbosch and all they do to support the stream as well. If you'd like to donate, visit pceagles.org. Our score here, 9-5. Warriors on top with the ball. Pella Christian back into his own defense. Coach Board trying to play around, knowing that hasn't quite got the offense kick-started. The Warriors a chance here to put some pressure on PC early.
Yeah, both teams a little bit sluggish to start off, but I think a lot of that has to do with the defense and athleticism on both sides on defense.
Yeah, it's easy for us to say, well, the offenses aren't playing well, but good job in finding the extra pass. The open man, Edwards, gets his second bucket. It's 11-5. Warriors up to a 6-0 lead. This is a 7-0 Norwalk run.
Yeah, really nice pass by Braden Carlson again.
Eagles on their half with Bennett Sprunk. Out to Schurz. Kicks it out. Stoltz, three on the way. No good. Rebound cleared, and there's the size of PC even at the guard position. Sprunk getting the extra possession.
Ooh, that's the same carry.
Skelhaus, top of the circle, works it right side. Now down low to Eric Mulder. Mulder draws the double team, tries to work through it, leans into a shot, and draws the contact anyway. He's just so quick.
Yeah, he's just a really tough matchup down there, and he's so big and physical. Interesting part for the Warriors is that second chance points is going to continue to kill them.
Yeah, that's, they're playing really good front-end defense, but if the Eagles are able to get and win the rebounding battle, that's where they, with their elite size, that's why they're the matchup difference in this conference, right? Pella, DCG, Indiana, all great teams that have subtle differences but play the same style. A lot of pace, a lot of good defense and transition game. Pella Christian can grind it out. Mulder's got 2 early points. He's 2 of 4 from the line. Does have 3 rebounds. 6:49 remaining. Warriors up by 5. Here's Bourne.
PC back to man-to-man.
And Norwalk's kind of caught in between right now, right? Between those styles with kind of the mix of players they have. Absolutely. But that's what makes them dangerous.
And you're going to see over the next couple of years, they're going to be back to up-tempo high. They have a lot of...
And there's a first recycled shot. It turns into an offensive rebound for Brown after the block by Mulder. Got the student section going for a second. 3 on the way, airmailed, though. And here's Skelhaus. Yeah, it's learning, right?
Right.
And here's Mulder trying to work his way and navigate the defense. Can't get the shot to go again, but he's at the foul line for free throws, 5 and 6. And he's quickly racking up the fouls down underneath. And that is number 23, Edwards.
You got
his third.
Bourne and Harder out there as sophomores, right? And Carlson's only a junior. Edwards is a junior. Brown's a junior.
Freshman.
And then I told you Cam Thomas. They suit 2 other freshmen and have, with these 3 freshmen not playing freshmen, they're freshmen coached by Colin Kramer, a little Central alum. There you go. And Jared Stockdale, an old player of mine and one of my buddies. A lot of Pella people might remember him. But they, I think, are 9-1 right now without them. So big time, ups coming up in their class. And some really good, by the way. Yeah, some really good players coming up. So you're going to see that tempo back. But that's the thing about being a high school basketball coach. You got to do what your team can do to win this year, right?
Yep. Well, and I think we're going to see PC, even though they can play tempo, we're going to see that more when the size graduates away here in the next year. And they've got a ton, Chris, of talented. Their JV's beaten a lot of Pella and DCG this year. I have a feeling that Pella Christian's not going away. It's just going to look different than these last couple of years.
It's just how it keeps working. It recycles itself, right, in the conference.
That's what makes it fun year in and year out. Just when you think a team is down, they come out, maybe have a year like Norwalk's having or PC had last year, and then they emerge and grow with those underclassmen.
Right.
Warriors have an 11-7 lead, and they've controlled the pace and tempo of this game and have largely led the majority of the contest here, and they're on their offensive side of the floor with Morrow.
You sat and watched it.
Double dribble.
You sat and watched it last year. You watch a Grinnell team that the state championship Pella team, maybe their toughest test was Grinnell in the sub-state game, and that was a team that I think got 6th or 7th in the league, but we watched them grow up in the conference, and we know how good they were, right?
Felt like at times the only one based on how those pairings get drawn. Heisman misses the shot. Carlson the rebound.
Right. I hear you.
Although I think when you have how many championships in a row now with different teams and how many every year, it seems at least 2, if not usually 3 or 4 that end up at state tournaments. The Little Hawkeye Conference seems to find a way. Baseline J, fadeaway for Bourne, no good, and it's Heisman the rebound for PC. 11-7. Been stuck on that here for a while. Now Low Mulder drawing the triple team, and he ends up drawing contact. And again, what makes Mulder different, and I know you saw Josh Van Gort for a couple years. Josh, a great player in his own right, but Eric's got that extra gear athletically.
So quick, yeah.
And that's what makes, it's that subtle move down there, right, that all of a sudden draws. All it takes is one arm to put him back at the line 1-1.
So I got to ask you, obviously state tournament rolling back around. We're going on 3 years in a row in 3A of 3 different Little Hawkeye Conference champions.
Well, I want 4 in a row, but I don't want a different team.
Right, obviously 4 in a row. But if DCG could win it,
I would be happy with it.
That's got to be unprecedented, doesn't it? I don't know why it wasn't 2 shots.
A vision for less, yeah.
It should have been 2 shots.
It was. Okay, I don't know what. Oh.
Yeah, it was 2 shots. Good job by the refs getting it right.
Yeah, well, and
great job by all the coaches.
Well, and don't forget, this PC team doesn't have to see any of the conference on the way to state. And Western's probably the favorite, and they're a pretty clear favorite. They got everybody back. Coach
Appleton and Parkersburg's really good, too.
Coach Bohr's alma mater, his little brother's the only player that graduated from Western last year. I say Western, Appleton are certainly up there. Eagles are, I think, just a tier below. They could be the 4th different team, then I'd be really happy about that.
And I don't know if Indianola can win a state title in 4A, but I think they can make the state tournament in 4A.
Yeah, and, depends on if they can avoid Waukee or Ames on the way there.
And so
Waukee Northwest. Yeah.
I want to know, somebody's got to do some research. I don't think 4 different teams from one conference have ever won
4 titles. And there's a good shot.
Unheard of.
There's a really good shot because I don't think 3A has any clear contender. 11-8.
I agree.
4:21 remaining here in the second quarter. Norwalk continuing to play a very deliberate pace and a good-looking shot, and that's close to goaltending there, but Mulder will get the benefit of the break there and get the rebound, his second block shot. See if PC can capitalize. That was close, Chris.
Yeah, it was close.
It wasn't obvious. I don't think it was clearly up there, but yeah, it was, again, it's not a lot of difference there between being above the rim and not. And then another foul on Norwalk. They are really racking up the whistles here. 8.
Coach,
that's the second on Carlson. So they're getting in some deep foul trouble here.
It's
and it's almost the game of attrition here for Pella Christian, right? Where they've got the depth, maybe a little bit better athletically, and they're able, I think, to keep drawing these fouls and put Norwalk in a really tough bind here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you where the frustration comes from the Norwalk benches. They executed everything they wanted to. They had Braden Carlson isolated. He got where he wanted to get to. And then, Mulder just made such a good play.
4 points for Skelhaas.
Bench is going to have to be careful, though. I don't know if you saw that. All 4 coaches jumped up and kind of harassed the ref. And I think we saw in the first game, you want to be careful on that. You don't want to turn the momentum of this game, on something like that.
Well, yeah, and a technical is a turnover and extra points more often than not because the other team's going to put their best foul shooter out there. Mulder gets the rebound for Pella Christian, looking for their first lead since early in the quarter. DeVries in a sea of arms, can't get it to go. Morrow, rebound.
That was it's 2-8 in fouls, and I can't call another foul because that was a foul.
There's a shot that misses, and Heisman clears the rebound for PC. Kind of what we've seen all game here, Chris. Back and forth, good execution, but not finishing.
Yeah.
And now Skelhaas is at the line again.
Yeah, and I know Coach Belzer's in a bit of a conundrum right now because on the one hand, he's like, well, we're winning by 1 point. But
that's the third foul for Brown.
Too much foul trouble. And
2 players with 3, in case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians, and Brown and Edwards, and then Carlson. That was his second just on the possession before. Skelhaas makes the first, and that's, in case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
Sorry, got to get that in.
You bet. Sometimes you feel like in a game, though, where you're like, yeah, we're now it's tied still, but you just feel like it's not going your way, right? You're like, we should be winning by more, and I feel that's kind of how Norwalk feels right now,
A foul on PC on the other side after Skelhaas pours both in. He leads all players with 6 points. Well, our creative idea drawn up by Brandon Peel, Coach, how do you manage when you have 7 players that you're probably going to play all game, you're down one of your rotation? How do you manage the foul trouble?
That should be a travel on Braden. That's a dead ball. Yeah, it was off a foul.
Yeah.
He traveled on the baseline.
12-11 Eagles back on top. But how do you manage that foul trouble knowing that you need those guys on the floor, but they can't play defense or they're going to get deeper trouble?
Yeah, so you know what you got to do? You're going to go a little bit deeper into your rotation.
Bourne got his shot blocked. Morrow picks it up, and he'll draw the foul.
So I think a couple things that they could think about. Maybe go to a zone defense here. I know that they've talked about putting in a little bit of a 2-3 zone look. I think one of his problems is he's looking and he's going, oh, we've only given up 12 points right now.
We're playing good defense.
And I don't know, you got field goals, maybe 2 or 3 field goals is all they've given up. And so you hate to do that. But you got to, so you survive till halftime. You figure out ways to get a couple stops until halftime without fouling. And then, maybe you're going to have to rely on somebody else off the bench other than just Cam Thomas to get you through till halftime. We'll see what they decide. Yep, look at
Warriors back
Here
on
we go.
top.
2-3 zone defense.
That's why I wanted to ask you about our creative idea drawn up by Brandon Peel for Print Web Video Interactive. Call Brandon Peel, relentless for you. That's why you asked.
It's like we've coached together for a while.
I was about to say, that's why you asked the state champion coach what he's thinking about the team he coached for how many years. And another foul. And that was over on Mulder. Didn't quite see what happened, but there was the official very clearly, coach, signaling the grab, and Mulder back at the line again.
And I told you this with Anna, right, when she was guarding in the first game where we're kind of like, well, but Mulder's baiting our guys into those fouls, but we're playing silly. Like, right there by Vinny, he can sit and go tell the refs, say, hey, he's being physical and do this. Disengage. He's on the other side of the floor. Disengage with him. You don't need to be physical.
The only thing that's been of solace here for Norwalk is Mulder's been to the line 9 times. He's only made 3 shots so far.
Right.
That's unusual. Eric is usually a really good foul shooter coming into tonight. Mulder about 50% from the line, but he's way below 50 right now. 3 of 10 from the stripe. Warriors still have a lead, and another foul called here on Tyson DeVries. This game is absolutely ground to a halt. Not the
you can almost feel it.
There's no flow
as we go.
There's no flow here, or if it is a flow, it's a drip. And I don't think either team's upset by that, but it's just there's another. That's the 4th block shot, by the way, for Mulder. But another offensive rebound turns into a 3 for Harder. Big kick out on that offensive board from Carlson that set it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Warriors can find more success doing that, driving and kicking. You don't need to keep pounding it in and taking it at Mulder. I think they're trying to get him in foul trouble. I'd almost be.
Here's Heisman, quick catch and shoot 3, no good. Andrew got the rebound. DeVries, can he get it to go? Yes.
Yeah.
Tyson DeVries, and there's
Second
that offensive
points.
rebound.
Yep.
And that keeps it back within 1. That's a big shot for PC.
Both teams getting a 3. It kind of gets the flow going a little bit again.
Here's Bourne.
Yeah, space it out. There you go. Yeah.
Carlson.
I'd like to see Braden Carlson shoot that ball a couple times, too.
Morrow, and that time is able to get past the Eagles defense, and he's had a nice night so far.
Night.
7 points. 18-15 Warriors, a minute 38.
Zone.
Heisman passes up on the shot. Pella Hy-Vee game reset. Pella Christian trailing Norwalk 18-15 with 90 seconds. Here's Heisman. No good on the shot. Rebound tipped out of bounds off of Tyson DeVries and over to Norwalk. We're going to get a line change here, on the substitution package.
Excuse me. I like that shot though by Jaden. I think Pella Christian, you can't get gun shy. You got to keep shooting because offensive rebounds are some of your best offense. So don't be shy. Now that doesn't mean you have to shoot it the first time you touch it, but once you move that ball a little bit and you are open, shoot it.
Eagles back into a zone, and surprisingly, it feels like trailing in this game the way that feels like they've controlled the game defensively, but Norwalk has made the better shots, and then there's a foul on Nico Schurz.
We used to always say the possession starts when the ball's in the air.
Yep.
You know, the possession doesn't end. You don't sit there and watch, and I think Pella Christian needs to understand that. So I'd keep, looking for those shots when you're open.
18-15 Warriors with the ball, and now the Norwalk boys will be in the single bonus coming up. And then a offensive foul call is Bennett Sprunk taking the charge.
Braden.
And there's Carlson. And that's his 3rd.
Oh, that is
or
3?
Second. Or
That's
no.
3,
well,
you're right. They got him for 3 up on the board.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, just not a great play by him right there. It was, I told you, I'd like to see him look for his jumper every once in a while. That would have been, he had a 15-foot jumper that I would like to see him. It's good to be a physical player, but you also have to be smart, especially with 2 fouls. We need him in the second half.
Aiden Stoltz was looking for somebody that wasn't there, instead finds Schurz in the corner to Bennett Sprunk, out to DeVries. Breather here for Eric Mulder, down by 3, a bit surprising to see. The Eagles need some offense.
Coach Pelzer was open, and he can shoot it. I'm not going to lie to you.
I was about to say, he's in prime position. On the elbow, Schurz, out to Tyson DeVries. Out to DeVries again. Here's Sprunk. That's a travel. 4th Eagles turnover. Nothing has been in flow here. Coach Bohr frustrated on the sideline. 22 seconds remaining, 18-15. Live inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. We'll have a very, very packed Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show for tires, front end work. There no appointment, oil change, and full mechanical work on your vehicle. Stop and see Shonda Ward and his crew next to Walmart in Pella at Central Tire and Auto. Warriors holding for a final shot here. 5 seconds remaining. They'll get it started. Lose the handle on it. It's loose on the floor, and Morrow will get the shot off, but it's no good. And definitely defense reigning supreme here in this first half, 18-15 after 2 quarters inside our Pella Real Estate Services broadcast booth.
Hormel Foods in Knoxville is hiring. They have openings on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd shift for positions including quality control, operations, and maintenance starting at $17.85 an hour. All 9 positions will receive the shift differential. Quality control and operations will receive a 50-cent an hour increase at 3 months and an additional 50-cent an hour increase at 6 months. Employees will be offered weekly pay up to $1,000, a free 2-year college tuition, compressive benefits, paid vacation, and a 401k. Apply today at HormelJobsKnoxville.com.
Dr. Agarwal is proud to provide exceptional allergy care close to home at the Knoxville Hospital and Clinics. Dedicated to evaluating and treating patients with a variety of chronic and acute allergy needs, Dr. Agarwal provides treatment for allergy testing and injections, eczema, hives, immune deficiencies, and more. Don't suffer and miss out on doing what you enjoy any longer. Call 641-842-1555 to schedule your appointment with Dr. Agarwal at the Knoxville Hospital and Clinics.
And we're live inside our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. It's our continuing coverage of Eagles girls basketball with head coach Brad Ingers following a 30-point loss to Norwalk. Coach, again, it feels like you had a long layoff, a lot of practice, and the Warriors were able to kind of establish their presence. Your thought about how this game kind of went early. Norwalk able to do what they needed to do, and obviously pulled away in that contest.
Yeah, in the first quarter, I thought we played okay. They hit some big threes that created a little distance for us. The big spell for us came with a couple minutes left in the second quarter, and we went down from down 10 or 12 points to 20-something in a pretty big hurry, and that a credit to Norwalk's intense defense, and the officials tonight were letting them play pretty physical game, and that's to their advantage. They're strong and play hard, and we just were coughing the ball up.
And that was the big part, right? I think I had you for 17 first half turnovers, and when you've had success or at least kept the games close, it has been taking care of the ball. And you talked to me about that last Thursday, that against Pella you were breaking some of those pressures and turning them into possessions, and it felt like, Coach, you're getting more implemented. I don't know how many times you found an open girl underneath, couldn't quite finish. It feels like the building blocks are there, but when you turn the ball over so much against a team with the scores they have, it turned into a long night.
Right, yeah, there's not an offense that you can set up when you're going to give the ball up a couple times down every other time down the floor. So we know we need to get that under control, and again, playing some good teams that defend well. Pella and Norwalk both defend very well. We just got to learn to keep our composure better, and we'll get better through that.
And what did this week of practice look like for you, Coach? And did you see what you liked out there? I know, again, it's hard to tell because you play a really good team in Norwalk, but I imagine you talked to me about that Thursday, that need to maybe have a reset button, and it felt like you were able to get at least the rotations you wanted on the floor and the athletes you wanted on the floor, and it's still just kind of coming together.
Right, yeah. We worked awful hard on breaking pressure, and unfortunately it didn't necessarily show tonight. We tried a couple new things, and the girls need to just relax, and one of the things that we knew we could do is once we get the ball in bounds, just, hey, everybody clear out and let's try and take them one-on-one in the full court pressure, because they weren't trapping hard. It's just that we were giving up the ball in kind of in pressure situations where there wasn't that much pressure. So.
Well, and again, I know that this is a tough league, and you know that, and you're still looking for that first win. But as you're past this mid-season point, and you've got a lot of games coming up now and during the home stretch, I imagine you're hoping to see these things really come together now. And you've got a big opportunity, I think, coming up on Monday with Des Moines Christian, a team that Pella really handled the other night. It's not maybe the state tournament teams of years past. They're still a very good team, but it feels like opportunity abound and a fun chance to play at the Well coming up on Monday.
Right. We're looking forward to playing at the Well, and who knows what will happen in situations like that. And we still go into every game believing, hey, we can get these guys if the right things happen the right night. And unfortunately, our offense, I think really since Eddyville several weeks ago, we've just kind of sputtered on offense. So if we get some people stepping up, and maybe Wells Fargo Arena will find some magic and start hitting some big shots and get Jocelyn a little help on the offensive end and see what happens.
That's head coach Brad Ingers. We'll keep it somewhat abbreviated because we got Coach Martin from Norwalk coming up. But, Brad, always appreciate your time. Have a ton of fun Monday. That's going to be a special night.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
And we'll have more of our Tire and Auto Radio halftime show when we come back.
You gave your kids a new puppy or kitten for Christmas. Let's make sure we take care of him. This is Dr. Tim Yoder with Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella, and we have a new puppy and kitten program that provides the attention they need. It involves physical exams, vaccinations, diets, and most importantly, information for you so that you can provide the best care for your new family member. Schedule your new puppy or kitten visit by calling Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
Yes, we are. We're the veterinarians.
They take care of pets because they love them.
5 a.m., time to get after it. 5 a.m., time to get after it. 5 5 a.m. Time to get after it.
Wow, honey, you've got some real brand appeal going on this year, huh?
Brand appeal?
You've been relentless with your workouts. Way to go. Kind of like how Brand Appeal has been relentless in telling our business's story through branding, print, web, interactive, and video.
Brand appeal. Relentless for you.
This is the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show on 92.1 KRLS. Our coverage of Norwalk basketball with head coach Jill Martin following the team's 59-29 win over Pella Christian. Coach, I've watched your teams over the year. It's finally nice to get to meet you face-to-face, and obviously a very solid team and a great way to start the second half of the conference rotation. Your thoughts about the ability to get out early, get an early lead, and build on that throughout the game?
Yeah, one, we really appreciate you guys covering our girls and girls basketball in general, so it's awesome. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, we talk a lot about breaking down the game, and really starting off with those first 4 minutes are super important in anything. And we try to break it down to 4-minute mini games throughout the whole 32 minutes. So it's super important, as you can see, when we go through those lulls in the second half. That's why we play as hard as we do at the beginning and try to, again, sustain that for 32 minutes.
Well, and the second quarter was the big one for you, and it felt like you got that run-out game going where early on both teams are kind of playing with each other in turnovers and all the above. It felt like the run-out game really got going in the second quarter, and I know in the first half of the season you were building towards that, and I imagine knowing the good teams in this conference, it's good to get that established against a quality PC defense.
Oh, absolutely. Again, I'm sure you've heard it from everybody covering. You've covered enough that this conference is you can't take a night off. Boys and girls side both alike. It's tough competition every night, and that gets us excited. It helps us get ready for postseason and things like that. And we just know that we got to play disciplined defense and be there and just be annoying to everybody. And it worked out for us tonight of getting some turnovers and things like that and easy buckets.
And a huge milestone Monday for JoJo Bice, your senior leader, who I've covered a ton of her games, obviously, on the other side of the aisle. Felt like the pressure was off here tonight, and she was able to get things going as a part of that run. And it feels like, Coach, you're probably at your best when she's running and gunning and facilitating the way she was.
Yeah, our team follows her lead. When she's attacking hard at the rim, the rest follow suit. She's done an incredible job and a great feat for her on Monday night. I know she's been pushing and doing her best and not forcing it, though. She's done a really, really incredible job. And we've talked to her. I want her chasing, quote-unquote, 1,000 all year long because her mentality has just been crazy the last 2 weeks, and we need to sustain that. She's doing a great job as a leader for our team.
And it felt like you got that inside-out game going, and Ava had maybe not a big quarter at all tonight, but a lot of plays throughout the 4 quarters of the game.
Man, that girl, love that girl to death. She uses her body so well. She's so strong. She's hard to stop and move. When she gets set and she gets going in her moves, she's got such nice touch around the rim, inside out, and it's fun when the girls recognize that, and Anna Larson did a great job of feeding her the ball tonight.
Well, and coming up on Tuesday, it's been maybe the closest game in this conference that has these tiers of teams. Definitely the closest battle probably since you've been here year in, year out. Pella, it was the same way the first time around. Pella just had a 5-point loss. We're right in it with Indianola to the end. You know this conference is good, and the team you match up with the best is probably Pella in terms of where you are talent-wise. I imagine Tuesday is going to be a fun night. Your thoughts about what it's going to take to knock off the Dutch on their floor?
Yeah, it's going to take an incredible effort, like every night in this conference, to knock anybody off, especially on their own court. We're excited. We love this conference. We love stepping up to the challenge, and you're going to get a great game every night, and you got to bring your game every night. There's no night off. There's no possessions off, and we're excited to go give our best effort, and yeah, we're excited.
And what do you think about the Pella team? You know, the matchup-wise, obviously with Coach Forsyth have really cranked the speed up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like boys and girls Pella teams, they play very similar. They're up and down. They're scrappy. They play hard. They're tough. They're blue collar, kind of work hard, and it's fun to measure yourself up against that. And hopefully they're doing the same against us these days as well. But we love that matchup, and it's a fun game to be a part of.
Should be a fun one Tuesday night. That's Jill Martin, head coach of the Warriors basketball team, following a big win and a big week, 2-0 here for the girls program. Coach, appreciate your time, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, thank you again for covering the girls.
Yeah, thank you as well, and we will have more coverage coming up. We're going to keep it right here. You can go ahead and take the headset off and pass it over to Coach Larson as we'll run down our first half stats from this boys game. And thanks again to Jill Martin for her coverage to our growing coverage in Norwalk. Vinnie Morrow, 7 points. Aiden Harder, 5. Landon Edwards, 4. 6 points for Levi Skelhaas. 3 for Tyson DeVries and 3 for Eric Mulder. Your Inside the Numbers delivered by PellaFiber.com, where it's neighbors, not numbers, that matter most. Gigabit internet speeds at PellaFiber.com. Coach Larson, very quickly, Our second half adjustments presented by DeYoung Door Service. Man, oh man, I think we thought there'd be a little more scoring, and it felt like there should be with how many times these teams went down the floor, but neither team shooting the ball particularly well, and we've got ourselves a close game, but one of the lowest scoring games I think we've seen in the entire conference all season.
Yeah, from Pella Christian's side, I think they need to just get a little more movement right now. They're a little stagnant right now. It's almost like they're watching, thinking, hey, we have a size advantage with Mulder, so we're just going to let him go to work. And Norwalk's doing a really nice job with him, so I think they need to get a little more movement in their offense. And then for Norwalk, honestly, I think they're kind of all right with the way the pace of the game is going right now. Their big problem is all this foul trouble, and I think eventually they're going to have to knock down a few shots and extend on this lead.
Your second half adjustments presented by...
We're the gurus of garage doors, DeYoung Door Service in Pella.
Here's Levi Skelhaus and the Eagles on the other side of our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. For tires, front end work, their no appointment oil change and full mechanical work. Stop and see Sean awarded his crew next to Walmart and Pella at Central Tire and Auto. A steal for Reddick Bourne, his second of the game. Eagles' fifth turnover. It was 4-4 in terms of turnovers. You have a Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update. Shot is good for the Warriors, 20-15, as Carlson knocks it in.
See that, a jumper for Braden. I think Coach Pelzer might have had a talk with him about that at halftime.
And here's Tyson DeVries online for three, but long. And the board is controlled by the Warriors on the foul, the third. So there's some foul trouble for Nico Schurz. Do have a Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update. Indianola 20, Pella 13 after one in a game that will be very much different on the scoreboard across town than this one will be.
No,
They'll double us at that point.
Looks like a packed gym over there across town, too.
Not shocking as Pella trying to hang on to their conference lead. Long two on the way, no good. Board controlled by Schurz. That was off of Carlson for Norwalk. And here come the Eagles, down by 5. This is the largest lead for Norwalk in this low-scoring affair on Eagle Lane.
I really like that shot for Braden Carlson, though.
And now Heisman can't get the three to go. Schurz has it ripped from his arms, and the rebound controlled by Carlson. And then Bourne has it knocked out of bounds off of himself.
That was, sometimes games, there's interesting. That great steal by Braden, but if they call that a foul, that's a game-changing call right there.
Well, that's his fourth foul.
Yeah.
Eagles trying to win this war of attrition, but their offense has gone ice cold here at home. The Warriors doing all they can to play spoiler in this second rotation of the conference. Right side, Stoltz for three, and he knocks it in. Aiden Stoltz pours it in, and the Eagles back within 2, 20-18, and it feels like every time the Warriors get a little bit of rope,
I know,
it's the Eagles pulling right back in.
Yep.
And in this low-scoring game, that's over time probably going to favor PC with their depth and the fact that they're not in much foul trouble. But as it goes, Warriors still have a lot of game and ballers on their side, and there's a shot blocked out of bounds. The fifth block shot from Mulder as Reddick Bourne ran into a wall of maroon and gold.
And I've talked about this. Mulder does such a good job on his shot blocking of not fouling. And so I think, looking for jump shots is going to really benefit the Warriors rather to keep attacking in there because it's just not finding much success, and you're not getting them in foul trouble.
And there's the jump shot.
Right. And successful, right?
And Aiden Harder's had a nice night, a bucket in each quarter so far. 5:36 remaining here in the third. A Pella Hy-Vee game reset. Norwalk 22, Pella Christian 18. Skelhaus down low to Mulder, draws the triple team. He's looking to kick it out, and then instead takes it himself for two. His first field goal of the game for Eric Mulder, 22-20. Back and forth we go. Pace picking up here a little bit in the third.
So I'm a little bit surprised, Andrew, that Skelhaus hasn't been a little more aggressive on the perimeter. I haven't seen him really hunting down his shot at all.
And once he gets going, he's a tough player to stop, as you know. And a three on the way in the corner, and it's good for the Warriors. 25-20. And that was Carlson who knocks it in from downtown.
So I'm telling you, he's a good shooter. He just doesn't shoot. He needs to start shooting more. He does not shoot. So you can
that's
look
his
at
first
stats.
Three-pointer of the year.
Yeah, but he's a good shooter.
He made.
He needs to.
And here's Skelhaus to answer.
Well,
yes.
There he is. See, it's like I've been watching basketball for a while,
your crystal
right?
ball, about 25 years of experience as a head coach in your back pocket against these with and against these teams.
Right.
It probably doesn't hurt either. 25-23. These teams just seem to keep answering. Here's Bourne on the shot fake. Dribble drive. Skelhaus catches him underneath. So a whip around pass now top of the circle. Morrow has his shot recycled again.
That one was pretty close to a goaltend.
And there's
Skelhaas
Heisman.
again.
Skelhaas for the lead. Yes! Levi Skelhaas buries a shot.
Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut there. I was just saying I was surprised he hasn't been hunting his shots more.
Well, he hunted 2 back-to-back, and it feels like a big momentum swing. Can the Warriors answer? No, but there's another foul underneath.
Yeah,
Morrow hits the deck.
Vinny saw an open lane and attacked. He's having a really nice night.
4th foul on Nico Schurz, and I know that's not Mulder racking those up, but he's a really big compliment piece when they can play both on the floor, and he's got 4 fouls.
Yep. It's that twin tower look, right?
Yes, and Morrow misses the first. But again, this is the tipping point in this game, it feels like, Chris. If Norwalk wants to stay in it, they got to do something here, because if Pella Christian can get a little bit of a lead, it may be a longer second half. And neither one goes in. The free throw shooting has not been particularly great for either team.
No.
Mulder the rebound.
Let's see what happens on this possession, because we might go back in a little bit and kind of remember those free.
Alley-oop. Oh, looking for the raise the roof moment of the game was Eric Mulder. Instead, it's a turnover and a steal for Harder, who was in the right spot. Second turnover and an offensive foul on Carlson. That's his 4th. Well, and unfortunately, Chris, because of their depth issues here tonight, the game may be decided by that, right? The fact that the Warriors may not have their best players on the floor in the 4th quarter.
And so Braden's I told you, I love his game. I think he's an awesome young player.
Coach Pelzer's going to give all he can give.
Yep. And there's nothing we can do now. Yep. But I'm just going to, for his development, he needs to when he just puts his head down, you're going to keep putting yourself in harm's way of getting those kind of fouls called. And then you're giving refs a chance to
for
call.
3, no good. Rebound poked out here is Aiden Stoltz, keeping it for the Eagles.
Man.
It feels like this is a pinch point here. Long range 3 for Stoltz, no. Heisman had the rebound for a second. It will go to Brown. So that's a big rebound there for the Warriors. Bourne for 3, no. And there's Mulder, perfect position. He's got 6 rebounds. Eagles lead 26-25.
If you're watching online with us, just keep an eye on the Eagles. If they could hold their seal on the weak side, they really have some advantages on the post if they would hold their seal. From when the ball's on the weak side wing, their posts on the weak side are open, but they're not really looking for the ball.
Shriver Cellular Instant Radio Update. Indianola 41, Pella 36.
Well, see.
Close, but they're racking it up a different way. Our score here, 26-25, 2.5 to play here in the 3rd. In case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. We have had 9 ties or lead changes in this game, but the Warriors have led the duration. Eagles just taking the lead here in the 3rd. Baseline jumper, no good. And the rebound controlled Eric Mulder. 7 rebounds, and here's DeVries. 26-25. Couple of 3-pointers for Skelhaas. Heat check, no. Offensive rebound, Mulder, yes. And Mulder has 8 rebounds, 7 points. And Warriors need a response now, down by 3. Live inside our Pella Real Estate Services broadcast booth. Also on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, it was the Indianola girls 57-52 over the Pella, and Norwalk 59-29 over the Pella Christian girls. Shot misses, rebound to Vries. Here come the Eagles on their half of the floor. Their largest lead of the game right now at 3. They have yet to lead by double figures. We'll see if it changes here. Heisman dribble drive and a beautiful finger roll for 2 for Jaden Heisman. And that's our drive to the basket, grown by Champion Seeds dealer Jay Boat, an independently owned and regionally focused seed company striving to build and maintain the broadest portfolio of genetics and traits. Champion Seed, they only champion the best. Jump shot misses. Loose ball rebound, still loose on the floor. It's pinball.
He's giving them a timeout.
And a timeout after it's scooped up by Heisman. And the Warriors fans looking for the jump ball. And I think we're going to get a conversation between the officials here.
Yeah, they're going to give it a jump ball. They're saying no one had possession.
Okay, no one had possession. Near side official thought they did, so I don't think the timeout is taken, right?
The only problem for Coach Pelzer is I guess it was probably going to be a jump ball anyway, so that's fine.
So that's it, but it's a big one. It keeps the Warriors with the ball. If that goes to PC, Coach, Might spell the end of this
I
game, possibly.
You're feeling it slip away a little bit. The Warriors really need a bucket. They have Braden on the bench. I think at some point Coach Pelzer's going to have to consider going back to Braden and just letting him play.
Step back three is well short of the mark. And here's Bennett Sprunk. Eagles pushing the pace.
If they score here, I think we got to get a timeout.
And here's Tyson DeVries. DeVries out to Skelhaus, finding Mulder. High post, out to DeVries. Three on the way, rattles in and out and in again. A three-pointer for Tyson DeVries.
Nope.
33-25, and the Eagles have opened up a massive run here on Eagle Lane as the crowd into this one now. Pella Christian outnumbering the Warriors across the way, and it feels like PC on the cusp of busting this one open. 20 seconds remaining here in the third.
You know, you can tell they're an experienced, really good team. This is going to help them, you know, down the stretch. They haven't played great tonight, but you should see the communication they have.
And there's a shot and answer, and that's another block that maybe should have been the 10 there. Mulder, his 7th block of the game, gets the rebound up to Andringa, and it's in for 2. And there's your Randall Roofing raise the roof moment of the game. The Eagles explode in quarter number 3, outscoring Norwalk 20-7, and that's a huge run for PC. Your Randall Roof moment of the game. When it's time and the moment arises, think Randall Roofing. And Coach, we're going to keep it right here instead of taking a commercial timeout. Pella Christian, we just felt that momentum going, right? And it just chipped away from Norwalk, and then they explode.
You know, a couple things there. Vinny was at the free throw line, and we said those were really important free throws, right?
Yep.
We haven't scored since that time, and we've really been out of sorts. And since that, I think it's been a 11 or 13-0 run.
I think it's 15-0,
Is it 15-0?
That was 25-20,
well, yeah,
right?
You're right. But since that free throw, I think we were going to take the lead. So
right.
So
yeah, because Pella Christian hit the threes, and then you had the chance to take the lead back. It was 6-0, and then it ran off 9-0.
And we just commented that we needed to settle things down a little bit. But I also want to compliment Pella Christian. I want to get back to that, of what championship basketball looks like. They're on a run. It's easy just to sit and, you know, wave to the crowd, get the crowd hype. Instead, Eric Mulder was sitting there, and he went and grabbed Levi Scalehace, threw him up into the 2-3 zone because they were trying to switch defenses. When they did that, they got into the defense they wanted. They blocked the shot. It led to a fast break, and now they have all the momentum. That's what championship basketball looks like right now.
And this is the team that's learning that still. These guys were new last year, didn't have a summer with Coach Bohr due to COVID, and it's largely the same team that you're seeing that we saw from last year, finally figuring it out here, I think, as we go in the later part of the season. Couple of shots, tough defense underneath from Norwalk, and they'll end up getting the rebound with Harder after an offensive board misses for PC.
It was physical. I think they were trying to run a little hammer action on the weak side there, but can't complain with the look for Mulder either.
Bourne. Beautiful touch, and this time a foul. That's the first on Mulder, but hey, if PC goes 3 quarters without a foul on Eric Mulder, they're going to win most nights. I mean, if he's on the floor, you saw his presence, 7 blocked shots in this game.
It's going to be really interesting to watch them in the tournament run with him. He's such a difference maker. I got to ask you, were you here when Jake Logan played for us?
No,
or was that before you?
I think it was right before I got here.
I don't know if you ever heard about his name. He is so similar to Mulder. They look so. He's Doug Deers' nephew.
Yep.
As a fun fact, but it's fun for some of us old little Hawkeye guys to like compare and contrast some guys. He changed the games just like Mulder did. We ended up getting. He was on their team that got 2nd in state and our team that got 4th in state because these type of guys impact things. Man.
Mulder felt the presence of everybody on him.
But they let you play in the tournament, and no one can get more physical than him. He's a monster in there.
35-27, that snapped a 15-0 run. And then on the opposite side, right, Eric gets no fouls in a game. You know, they're going to win more often than not. Reddick Bourne, those were his first 2 points. If he's not scoring for Norwalk, it's usually a long night for the Warriors. We're going to get a full vision for less time out here for Coach Bohr. We're going to keep it right here and tell you about our game brought to you by BSN Sports and Windmill Print and Stitch in Pella. Windmill Print and Stitch is a locally owned decorated apparel company right here in Pella, and they're a proud partner of BSN Sports. If you need apparel for your team or business, call Phil Hemming with BSN Sports at 620-8337 or stop into the BSN Sports Windmill Print and Stitch office on Southeast 14th Street in Pella. We're live inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. On our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard at the half, it's Davis County boys 35, Knoxville 27. Indianola 41, Pella 36 at the half. Those are boys' scores. In girls' action, it was Des Moines Christian knocking off Pleasantville 43-42. Knoxville 59, Davis County 51. Indianola over Pella 57-52. And our score here was 59-29. In favor of Norwalk, our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, where they're serving you in building community across the Red Rock area with their locations in Pella, Knoxville, Melcher, Dallas, and Coach Larson.
Can I add one more? Even though it's not a Marion County, it's not
the
even
biggest game happening in Iowa
It
tonight.
is the biggest with multiple Division I players. At halftime, Northwest and Ames tied at 23, and our old little Hawkeye friend, Coach Watson, I knew that he'd have Northwest ready to play. High school basketball alive and well in the end of January. Good games all over the place.
Well, and I have to say, an Ames High for my best friend from college, Matt Van Winkle, an Ames High graduate.
Okay. Yeah.
If there's a little poll I have tonight, it's for the little Cyclones.
Okay.
35-27. Hey, that's a great basketball game. Here's Aiden Stoltz for three. Rims out, no. There's Eric Mulder, and another cleanup crew shot. He's got 10 rebounds, 9 points, a point away from another double-double for Mr. D1 from Eagle Lane, Eric Mulder. 37-27, Eagles back on top by 2. 6:23 remaining here in the fourth. Things slipping away here from the Warriors after a 15-0 run for PC. In case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella. Morrow, left side of the lane, no. He's scooped up by Andringa. Loose ball rebound, Skelhaas.
He kicked it.
And the steal goes to Mulder, and I think there was a kick there.
It's funny how often this happens, Andrew. Sure, they're scoring more points this half, but really, what's the difference in Pella Christian in the second half? It's their defense, right?
Yeah.
More energy on the defensive end, and it's leading to more points on the offensive end.
Well, and good job by the Warriors forcing a Vision for Less timeout on 92.1 at KRLS. Andrew Schneider, Chris Larson on a fun night of Little Hawkeye Conference basketball. We plan on having more fun on Tuesday night as we take a look at the road ahead, presented by PellaMotors.com. But before we get there, Pella Christian, Chris, we talked about it on Monday. One of the biggest games of their season, not just obviously they still want to win the conference. That's still out there for them, assuming Indianola, Pella, DCG beat up on each other up in the top part of the conference. But the team that they would probably have to beat to go to state, they're going to see at the state tournament venue. And turns out for one of those teams, that's the only time they're going to play at Wells Fargo, which is shocking considering how good both are, because Des Moines Christian just knocked off Pella.
I can't wait. I might have to sneak down there on Monday night.
Be a fun one.
Jason is one of my all-time favorites. I love coaching against him. He was a great young man when I knew him as a kid, and now I've enjoyed. He's bounced some ideas off me as a coach as he's gotten into coaching fraternity, and I really enjoy him. And this Pella Christian team is really fun to watch. It's going to be a battle.
That's a state level game. I mean, let's
absolutely.
face it. And it's hard because of geography. You can't get everybody who's deserving up there every year, but man, oh man, I think those teams are going to prove it on Monday. Skelhaas, touch in the lane, no. Schurz with 4 fouls.
Good
had it knocked out of his
Harder.
hands. And then Aiden Harder will force the jump ball on the rebound, and it goes over to Norwalk. 5:20 remaining here, 37-27 in the fourth. Pella Christian leads Norwalk in a Pella Hy-Vee game reset.
Lot of fight in both teams, though, right? Warriors still got that. I will tell you, I think they have got to look for their shots a little bit more. They're attacking well, but make sure that you're looking to shoot that ball. Right here, take a look. There you go.
There's your shot, and it comes in as Jack Brown gets on the board for the first time in this one, 37-30. This one not over yet. Eagles had made it felt like that for a second. See how they answer here. Still a 3-possession game.
Get a stop here and then get another bucket, and you can get right back into this.
And for PC, if they can get even 2
Good.
here.
Ball pressure.
It takes a little bit of pressure back off there. Schurz gets it out to Stoltz. 4:44 on the clock here in the fourth, 37-30. Pella Christian.
Almost a turnover there. I like the defense by Norwalk.
And down low, it's Skelhaas out to Stoltz. Airmails it, but right in the waiting arms, the alley-oop unofficially to Danny Andringa, who gets on the board. His 3rd offensive rebound. That one hurts if you're Norwalk.
Yeah, tough break for the Warriors. It's
you got what you wanted, a bad shot in the corner.
Exactly what you wanted.
Here's Bourne, works it right side.
Give Scalehouse a lot of credit. He's done a nice job on Reddick tonight.
Well, Levi, in terms of athleticism, he might go win a 200 and 400 meter dash this year. I mean, he is so fast, and he just got some agility. And by the way, that's maybe a missed opportunity for Norwalk because you got Mulder off the floor, but when you've got a 9-point lead, Coach Bohr can play that game, right? Use that depth and give him some rest.
It speaks to the ridiculousness of the conference when you have a guard like Scalehace from an athletic and basketball player standpoint and an interior player like Mulder, and they're in 4th in the league.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because that should not happen.
11 rebounds for Mulder. He'll draw another foul.
It's similar to a couple years ago when, and I know you can say what you want about his surrounding cast, but Xavier Foster is in the league and he got last place, and I think they ended up with 2 wins in the league.
Yeah.
Like, that should not happen.
Right. It's just insane. I mean, and some of the teams that Pella had over the years that didn't win state championships that were really, really good, right, with Coach Core, and, you know, and obviously you could say the same thing. You took second to Oskaloosa, you know, in the state championship game. It's pretty remarkable the kind of depth that has continued. And I think it's
still going,
Yeah, and I did a story about that last year where we've had at least 2 teams in the conference at state every year since 2014.
Yeah.
And that's since I've been here.
Yeah, which it's...
That's hard, in a team that's been largely 7 or 8 teams.
And let's not make it just about state tournament. The fun part of it is these nights, right? It's this is happening on a nightly basis.
Here's Mulder for the double-double, and he'll finish it for 2. And that might do it, Chris. I know there's still some time left, but, boy, this is going to be a 4-possession game now for PC.
Got to hit that.
Got to hit this shot, and he does. If they were going to stay in the game, that's what they needed.
Yep.
And by the way, Carlson, no 3-pointers, at least on my stat sheet all year, that he's made, and he hits 2 big ones here in the second half.
I actually think that was Aiden Harder on that one.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Vision for last timeout.
But it's nice to see him getting going. He was really, really shooting at the beginning of the year well. And then, you know, he got a little bit sophomore slump, which is going to happen. And I think, you know, you have that excitement of, hey, I'm playing varsity basketball, and then you can have a dip. And I think you'll see him. We always have a saying, water always levels, right? And he'll get himself going again here in the second half of the season.
Speaking of that, I think a guy like Carl Miller at Pella, who we'll see Tuesday, same way, right? Where this happened to him last year, where he went in a slump. Team kind of went in a slump in January, February. Then they got it going in February, started clicking. It was against Pella Christian in that game when the first time Trevor and I, here's the team that could win the state championship. You want to be playing better basketball here, Chris, but you know it. Your best basketball is played about a month from now when you're getting to sub-state.
Yeah, and this is what all these battles, though, prepare you for. And so when you're talking about the end game success, there's a reason why our league's teams are successful at the end of the year. It's because of all the hardships that's happening right now.
Well, yeah, and then they play, and there's no offense, undefeated seasons are incredible, but teams like Monticello who have 1 loss all year, but they're not playing anybody, all year in terms of elite teams.
And it's not about it's about when you lose, you learn.
Yeah.
And so then you go back and you become tougher. The best thing the year we won our state title, the best thing that happened was going into winter break, we lost to Pella, and we had 2 weeks of really tough practice that really toughened us up. And then when we were getting rolling, Pella Christian beat us, and it toughened us up even more.
And that's where I think Pella's going to feel that.
Yeah.
DCG's going to feel that. And
obviously
Pella
Christian's feeling it.
And here's Skelhaas 3, rims out, no good. Might have been the dagger, but another offensive rebound, Mulder has 11 points, and another foul here called on Norwalk. 11 points and 12 rebounds, 41-33, 2:40 remaining here in the fourth.
And in a small sample size, I'm going to talk about these young Norwalk Warriors. It might not happen for them this year, but these battles that they're going through as young players this year are going to set them up to be a really good team next year.
And be ready to maybe ascend in the conference as Pella and DCG. These teams have their great players graduate out, and then they recycle the same way, right? There'll be good teams who may not be ready for prime time, but boy, we got a lot of those good teams in this conference.
Isn't it something?
There's Skelhaas, counted and one. Beautiful touch for Levi Skelhaas as he uses that incredible athleticism to find his way for an and one chance.
Well, I unfortunately kind of called on Levi.
You got him motivated.
And it was just, he's a really good player. And I've been, pleasantly surprised as a basketball fan and as a fan of good basketball. He's done exactly what he needed to do tonight in order to win his team a game, and that's what a senior should play like.
And here's the difference between last year's Levi and this year. Last year, Levi gets those points up in the first half, kind of, that hot dog ball mentality where he would take over a game maybe too much. This year, he's learned to distribute, Chris, and you know that. Sometimes the greatest offensive players become even better players when they learn to facilitate and learn when to take and pick their spots. shots, and Levi's the prime example, right? Trying to get his teammates involved a lot more, and there's another foul on Carlson, and that's his 5th. So his night is over.
Well,
but that's where, again, that elevation of talent, right? He learned from last year, and now he's one of the better players in all of 2A.
Absolutely, and I'm going to give you another example of that. And I told you, I love Braden Carlson, and I love his game. But
Eagles
right there,
the
he's gotten 3 offensive fouls tonight and some other, we need him in the game. He had an opportunity to shoot a jump shot at the top of the key. Instead, he drove in, and he let the refs dictate if that was going to be a foul or not, right?
By the way, Marvin Wyke was beside himself. And you've heard Marv on the others. He picks his bark, but that was a little bark there after the jump ball called. It stays with the Eagles. They're looking into Mulder, and that's off of Mulder's hand, and a 4th Eagles turnover of the half, 44-33. And here's the one thing for PC I think they need to learn this year. Their wins have been really big wins, except for maybe that Norwalk game early in the season. Their losses have been close. It's managing these situations, right, and still figuring out.
You can't just throw the ball away right there.
And Scalehouse gets the rebound.
That was trying to hit a home run when all you needed is a single.
Yeah. And Levi, talk about great job dribbling his way through some defense, and then the foul forced with a minute 32, 44-33. And, of course, Scalehouse is who PC wants at the line, 80% near the top of the league.
Let's go back just a couple years to our Norwalk teams. Bowen Bourne is quick and as shifty of a ball handler as anybody, but I think one of the beauties of him is he kept his game pretty simple most of the time. He didn't, I didn't think, obviously does he have a flair? Sure, but, one of his beauties was in those moments when it was winning time, to choose not to use that flair and just go win the game.
Scalehouse just got knocked in the face, and he was ping-ponged around by a pair of Warriors defenders. And he earned that foul there, and that's on number 32, Harder.
But I think it's really important, and that's going to be big for them down the stretch, because you're going to want the ball in his hands, and he's going to have to close out games for him.
Do have a Strawberry Southerner instant radio update that I just saw on your Twitter, and number 1 versus number 2 in the entire state. It's Ames taking control in the 4th quarter, 44-39 with Lipsy.
Yep.
Very good player.
Yep.
You could name the rosters on those, and as you said, they'll be all over our Division I colleges across the Midwest momentarily. 5 fouls, by the way. That was actually on Harder, his 5th. And then Scalehouse makes the first free throw on a 1-and-1. We have a conversation going on here.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I was trying to get, I don't know if they disagree on who the foul was on. There was some confusion when they administered the foul initially.
Yeah. So Scalehouse should get the shot here, right? Because was it 20? Oh, we were off by a foul.
Oh, and
so there should be no shot. It's Pella Christian ball underneath the hoop.
Okay, they weren't in the bonus yet.
Yeah. So they weren't even shooting. Well, wait. Well, no argument from either coaching staff.
We are at 7 fouls.
We are at 7 fouls. So Scalehouse makes the first. He is perfect from the foul line here tonight, 7 of 7. 46-33, all Eagles here late in this game. A minute 18 remaining here in the 4th. Top of the key, 3 on the way for the Warriors, well short. Good box out by PC.
Let's give some credit tonight to number 20, DeVries.
Yeah, Tyson.
DeVries. He has done a great job hounding Reddick Bourne up and down the court. And those are the type of players that, again, come tournament time, we're not going to say his name probably a lot. And we talked about some of those other kids that happens. I think he made a couple threes earlier in the game. But when you can lock up a really good player like that and cause him fits all night and know your role, that's what championship level. That's how you get to the state tournament. That's how you win basketball games.
Delivery.com is the restaurant delivery service in Pella with great local restaurants like George's, Canarito, Simoto, Liberty Street, Dutch Fix, and more. It's the perfect game night fix in our community. You can have fresh food delivered right to your home or business for lunch or dinner, just like Misty Rivas did, who won our Fan of the Game $10 gift certificate from Misty. Try Delivery.com this weekend and then listen to our games coming up Monday, Tuesday, Friday. We got more Fans of the Game presented by Delivery.com. 46-33. minute 12 remaining. Chris, I've taken advantage of delivery.com, if you've noticed my physique. that started right after the pandemic hit, from Phil Hemming, actually. Another one of his great business ideas. And I tell you what, there's been a delivery car at our door maybe at least once a month at 409 Farmer in Pella. Foul on the Warriors, Bourne on the inbound. Here's Heisman, who's at the line for more free throws. A minute 10 remaining here in the fourth. Eagles going to win this one as you're listening to Pella Christian Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on FM 92.1 KRLS Pella Knoxville, KRLS HD1 Knoxville Pella. So, we'll talk more in our postgame about this, Chris, but mentally, Pella Christian, they really had to grind it out first, 2.5 quarters, then played the style of game they wanted to. Finally busted through. Norwalk a little shorthanded tonight, got in foul trouble. A lot of lessons learned here as we start the second half of the conference season. And there's a shot that misses and a rebound for Skelhaas, and maybe we'll have to get to that thought in the next stoppage. But PC trying to dribble this one out.
I think right there, the guy going to the line is the difference maker right there.
Yeah, well, and if we want to talk already about our Hormel Foods Radio Key Play and Player of the Game, his back-to-back threes opened the game up for PC, right? They were down by 5, 25-20, in case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. He hits back-to-back threes, gives them the lead. It felt like the Eagles came to life, and he spurred that run. And then obviously here down the stretch has been nothing but ice water here, 8 for 8 at the foul line.
Yeah, he's been really good, but I think it's his energy. Sometimes teams are just better when he's like the Energizer Bunny of this team. Mulder's the big muscle, and they got a lot of other guys who are just hard-working kids and hard-working players out there. And
there's a three on the way for Bourne. He's got 5 in this quarter, all in his game, 50-36. Another foul called here near side on Morrow as DeVries got it. And that's a big step for Levi, because again, I think last year, maybe got too hot sometimes, right, where he would be angry on the court as opposed to positive. I think he's matured a ton. I think obviously his athleticism allows him to hound a team's best player. And, I mean, he's the guy when, push comes to shove, they want the ball in his hands at the end of the game. And I don't know if that was always the case last year because of his, sometimes temper or maybe unevenness. He has been so even-keeled this year for PC, and it's been a huge difference.
Yeah, he looks great out there to me. Obviously this is only my second time seeing him, but I've enjoyed watching him and watching him run track. I just think he's a phenomenal athlete and really impressed with the way he's played tonight.
It's been a fun career for me to follow, and I'm going to be saddened when he graduates selfishly here on Eagle Lane. 52-36, it's all PC. Late in this game, do have a Strauver Cellular instant radio update block shot for Heisman. Still a good one brewing, but Pella's not been quite able to close the gap. It's still a 7-point lead for Indianola, 66-59. Chris, that game's kind of fluctuated between 4 to 10 points in favor of Indianola on the night as Morrow hits a three.
What'd you get for a score on that one? Sorry, I missed that.
66-59, Indianola still leading. Okay, Pella has not led in that game to my knowledge.
Okay.
Unless it was really early.
Yeah, I told you, Indianola looked really good last week. And again, I think the world of Pella, I think the world of DCG, but Indianola, if they learn to play defense like that, I think down the stretch they're going to be really tough to beat.
They can still win the conference. It's not like Pella and DCG have a 7-game,
I think they all have one loss, right?
Indianola has 2 because they lost to both DCG and Pella first time around.
So it's still in, no, it won't.
DCG is in the most control of their own destiny.
Yeah,
their only loss is to Pella. Pella's in trouble because they lost to Norwalk. So while they have the head-to-head on everybody else, they haven't kept, they didn't keep schedule on the other side. Here's Bourne, 3 on the way. No good. Good offensive rebound, but that time the goaltend called. Matter of time, I think, as the Warriors fans were jumping on that one. 2-pointer for Norwalk, 54-41 with 5 seconds remaining. Elementary at this point. And the Eagles will kick off the second round robin of the conference season with a dominating second half over Norwalk, 54-41. Pella Christian trying to stay alive in the conference race. We'll have your Captains at a Pella Radio postgame show. A lot to talk to and talk about when we come back after this.
Professional, knowledgeable, and customer-friendly heating and cooling service. That's what Hines Mechanical has offered homes in Milo since 1984. As a family-owned company built on honesty, integrity, and loyalty, they pride themselves on getting the job done quickly and correctly 100% of the time. Hines Mechanical exclusively offers innovative high-end Lennox HVAC products that run more efficiently and more reliably than the competition's. Give Steve a call today at 515-337-2074. Hines Mechanical, dedicated to providing you the highest level of quality and expertise.
Hi, this is Lonnie DeSwart, Petroleum Department Manager at Two Rivers Co-op, inviting you to fill up with gas at Pella's only locally owned gas station. Our Carsville location in Pella is open 24 hours a day, pumping Cenex top-tier gas, and you don't have to be a member of the co-op to use it. Next time you stop by, make sure to ask for a Two Rivers local card, because when you swipe it at the pump, you'll save 4 cents off every gallon every time you fill up. So if you're fed up with the big chains, fill up at Pella's only locally owned gas station, Two Rivers Cooperative.
It's nice to know that the products we grow are meant for this area, not for the whole nation. That's something that a lot of seed companies can't do. Champion selects hybrids that work countywide, statewide. We have a couple products in the corn lineup that they tell us don't sell. They're meant for the dry land. They're not meant for this area. But most of them want standability. They want a product that's going to stand until December when the snow flies. We're a price competitive and product competitive company.
Learn more at plantchampion.com.
At Pella Fiber, you're more than just a number. You're a neighbor, a friend, a family member. You are what makes Pella a great place to live, work, and play. And Pella Fiber is dedicated to bringing you the connections you need to live life to its fullest. So while big telecommunications companies see you as just another number on a profit statement, you'll always be much more to us. Pella Fiber, neighbors, not numbers. Join us at PellaFiber.com and connect to what really matters.
Marion County Bank salutes the farmers and their families in Marion and surrounding counties. Hi, I'm Trey Sadoff, ag lender at Marion County Bank. We know that for today's farmers to be successful, it takes more than just hard work and dedication. It takes a commitment. At Marion County Bank, we're committed to our area farmer success too. As our area's leading ag bank, we invite you to visit with one of our ag loan officers at our Pella or Knoxville office for all your ag lending needs, concerns, and opportunities. We have the experience and expertise to help with your farming operation. Marion County Bank, serving you, building community. Member FDIC.
Pella Engraving and Sign Company has a reputation of quality and excellence for providing indoor and outdoor signs in a variety of materials, including metal, plastic, and acrylic. We also produce banners for businesses and events, as well as car wraps to stand out and bring your promotional needs to life. We will work with any budget by offering a variety of price points and material options to bring you the best value. And Pella Engraving and Sign prides ourselves on meeting exacting standards and quick turnaround times. Learn more at PellaEngraving.com.
This is the Cabinet Design of Pella Radio postgame show where they expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations. Call Mike Blom, the cabinet guy at Cabinet Design of Pella. A very solid end to our night here of our first rotation of the Little Hawkeye Conference, and it's the Eagles 54, Warriors 41. And Chris, when we think about the divergent paths of these teams, obviously Norwalk shorthanded tonight, already in 5th place in the conference, so a lot of their goals maybe preseason not able to come to fruition. They played a tough game. Foul trouble kind of did them in. But you and I talked about it during the break. It felt like, and again, I've watched about half of the PC games so far, this is the first time all year that it kind of clicked for them. And it's been a long 2-year journey. We talked about that throughout the broadcast, right? The building of programs. It doesn't happen from even, last summer to this year. A lot of these players, it's been building for 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Coach Boer's got to be excited. If Pella Christian can play like that when the going's tough, right? First 2 quarters, Pella Christian had nothing to write home about. Norwalk had plugged up the works. There was no flow, and that's what Norwalk kind of wanted to have happen. For Pella Christian to have the patience to break through that, that's a good sign of a team that can win a lot of games in February and March.
Yeah, I think going into this game with Des Moines Christian on Monday, JD's got to be really excited because that second half, that's like a catapult into that game, right? And he just tells his guys, I'd really feed off that second half, show them film of all the good things they did, especially in that third quarter, and say, guys, this is where we're our best selves. And what did we do? What did each of you do individually to make us get there? I would argue it really turned around. Yeah, they made a couple buckets, but what they really did is they picked up their intensity and their energy on defense. It got them a few easy baskets in transition, and that really got their whole mood flowing. And And I still think for them, Mulder's obviously amazing. He's a great player. But I think Scale Ace is the kind of the one, the straw who stirs the drink for him.
And then on the flip side for Norwalk, this is a gut check, right? You're back under 500 again. You had a really close game, a heartbreaker with DCG where you were there and you almost, and I wanted them to knock off, for selfish reasons with Pella and PC in the conference race. You were on the cusp of that, and then you kind of got handed to you, by Indianola. Bounced back against Carlisle, which was a good, kind of steady the ship. But then, you had a lead the majority of this game, and I know you weren't at your full deck. You got in some foul trouble. This is kind of a gut check through the point in the season, and I know the Warriors aren't going to give up. That's never been your mantra, but this is one of those where you're in the locker room, Coach, and I imagine say, hey, it's a tough one. We got another tough one coming up on Tuesday. Season's not over, but like you said, and like we just said, it's not maybe about this season anymore. It's like, can you get yourself even better and better each and every night and build toward what's ahead? And give your seniors a great send-off as well.
And one thing that's interesting, very inexperienced team. Minus Reddick, no one really had too much varsity experience coming into the season. It's great. That was really great early to get some home games, and you felt really comfortable there, and they got some good wins early, and they were playing competitive. Kind of the problem with that is all these tough games are on the road in the second half when you're hitting the dog days. And so I thought the Warriors did a nice job grinding in the first half. In the second half, it felt like as the game slipped away from them, they just didn't have many answers in order to answer the runs that Pella Christian was going on. I think for them, as they have to go to Pella still, they have to go to DCG, they have to go to Indianola. So what you want to do is take incremental baby steps. So for going to Pella on Tuesday, you have to say, hey, let's take what we did in the first half, but then when we come in at halftime, let's not think the game's over. Let's see if we can go out in the third quarter and continue. And I would argue that for them, it was just the opposite. The defensive end, it was a little looser in the second half, right?
Yep.
Offense was happening a lot easier for Pella Christian. I didn't think that Norwalk was quite as locked in. That's a sign of an inexperienced young team. They're probably a little more tired, a little more fatigued, not quite as strong. So they're going to have to work on growing because mentally you're going to have to be tougher because physically you're probably not going to be as strong as those teams.
Well, and the foul trouble didn't help that, right? Because then you had to feel like, well, if I foul, I might be out of this game for the entire third quarter. Let's go ahead and take a look at our key play and player of the game. First for Norwalk, presented by Greg Young Chevrolet. The early start I thought was big, and the defensive intensity and their ability, Chris, to keep Pella Christian tentative. And you said that at halftime that PC, didn't ever feel like they wanted to move the ball. They were kind of waiting for Eric to create some space, and he got to the foul line, but the shots weren't going in. Norwalk's defense kept things off balance, and I thought that was key early for the Warriors to stay in this game. It was that defensive intensity in the first half.
Yeah, excellent job. Good job on their game plan. Unfortunately, it felt like Norwalk was kind of outplaying a PC early, and you looked at the scoreboard, and they were up like 1 or 2 or 3
They never got
points.
a big run, right?
Yeah, and they felt like they were kind of should have been up 7 or 8 in that time, and Mulder was missing free throws, and things were kind of going Norwalk's way, but yet the scoreboard was way too close, and you could kind of just sense that was going to lead to bad things later in the game.
Vinny Morrow was my pick for Norwalk. He just on both sides of the floor, never got in foul trouble, hit some big buckets, I thought, at pretty critical times. There's a lot of guys I think could be the player of the game, but that was my pick for Norwalk.
Well, and nice job out of him. He was out on Monday because he took an elbow and in practice over the weekend. Had to get 10 stitches, I think, and so
even more so the player of the game,
nice
right?
job bouncing back. But also, I talked about these road games and these tough situations. Nice to see his senior leadership shining through, and I thought Vinny played wonderfully tonight.
That's that pitcher's mentality, right? The ace pitcher on the mound, and your back's against the wall. You got to get the out. That's Vinny Morrow, and those are our key play and player of the game for Norwalk. Let Greg Young Chevrolet and Norwalk go the extra mile for you with award-winning customer service. Thousands of vehicles to choose from, and always here community care. Greg Young of Chevrolet in Indianola. I think we got our coaches starting to filter in. We never got to do the post-game interview, but obviously, Chris, it was a ton of fun to be with you here for 4 hours of basketball, get to pick your brain a little bit. Again, had the utmost respect for you as a coach over the last 7 years, and really glad you're on our team now.
Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, I love being here. I love watching basketball with you and talking hoops, and can't wait to do it again Tuesday.
Let's say, I think we get to do it again Tuesday in what could be another pair of great games in our conference, Norwalk Pella on Tuesday. Chris, safe travels to you, and we'll see you right back here in the Tulip City.
All right, thanks, Andrew.
When we come back and set Pella Radio postgame show. Head coach J.D. Bohr breaks things down following the team's 54-41 win over Norwalk.
Online ordering is now available at Culver's in Pella. Simply go to culvers.com, select curbside or carryout, and let us know if you'd like us to start making your order fresh right now or schedule the time that you want it ready. Our entire menu is available, including Marion County's best burger, chicken sandwiches and tenders, seafood dinners, fresh salads and hearty soups, kids meals, snack-worthy sides, and our famous frozen custard. Just go to culvers.com and place your online order for your next meal at Culver's in Pella, where we're locally owned and involved in your community.
It's volunteer season. Pella Corporation thanks those who volunteer to make our area a great place to live. It's clear that when you volunteer, you're helping others. On the job, the Pella team creates energy-efficient Pella windows and doors for homes and businesses throughout North America. And once the job is done, many Pella Corporation team members volunteer to make a difference in their communities. Let's hear a cheer for volunteers. For more information on exciting careers at Pella Windows and Doors, visit Pella.com/careers.
There's a place in downtown Pella that takes you right into the heart of Amsterdam. A beautiful brick walk featuring a winding canal, a working drawbridge, and Dutch architecture providing a classic old-world atmosphere. Welcome to the Molengraat. The Molengraat is home to some of Pella's finest lodging at the Amsterdam Hotel, dining with Liberty Street Kitchen and Oriental Express, Beautiful You Salon, Pella Nail Salon, the Pella Window and Door Showroom, and many service businesses. You can even take in a movie at Pella Cinemas. Good luck to our local sports teams from the Molengraat in Pella.
There's a citrus sale going on right now at the Hy-Vee stores in Pella and Knoxville. Jumbo navel oranges are only $1.28 a pound. Get a 3-pound bag of Halos for just $5.99. Sumo citrus is only $2.99 a pound. Half gallon of Hy-Vee orange juice or apple juice are 2 for $3, and 4-ounce citrus grilled salmon fillets are just $5.99 each. Stop in for the citrus sale going on now through Tuesday, January 25th at the Pella and Knoxville Hy-Vees.
This is the Cabinet Design of Pella Radio postgame show where they expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations. Call Mike Blom, the cabinet guy at Cabinet Design of Pella. Final score for the Eagles boys, 54-41 over Norwalk here with head coach J.D. Bohr in what was not a busy week publicly for you, your only game in 8 days.
Yeah.
Your guys come out with a really strong second half after a slow start in the first and knock off a very good Warriors team. And we talked about that last Thursday. You knew every game, the second half of the conference. Everybody's got film now. Everybody's seen everybody, and you knew it was tough. And your guys were able to respond big in the second half. Your thoughts about their ability to overcome a really tough defensive battle and turn it into a nice positive there at the end?
Yeah, it was a defensive battle for sure. I'm not sure that first half just wasn't a lot of fun for anybody.
Well, here's the comparison. I think they scored 80 combined points across the way in Indiana-LaPella,
yeah, right.
and we were at 35 or whatever it was at half.
Holy smokes. I mean, neither could they. And then there's just these long possessions, and that was something. But, we kind of got into halftime and felt like, you know what, we're playing okay. But the ball wasn't moving very well, and we talked about moving the ball and eventually shots are going to fall. And that's exactly what happened is we started to move the ball against their zone. We got a couple decent looks, and that's all we needed because we made a few of them. But the ones that we missed was kind of our best offense because finally, Eric and Nico and Danny and other guys could go get it off the glass, So we did a great job of rebounding the whole game. Proud of our effort defensively. I thought we were really solid on the defensive end all night long, and a bunch of guys, really stepped up on that side of the ball. So wasn't pretty, but we'll take them, right? We'll take them any way we can get them.
Well, and you mentioned defense and Coach Larson, which was a pleasure for me. That's the first time I've called a game with Chris Larson, a recent head coach who I don't know if there are too many people that love the game more than basketball than you or him.
Yeah.
And he pointed out the intensity coming out of the half defensively. Even though the offense didn't quite start right away, the block shots, that defensive intensity, hitting couple big shots, and it felt like the game flipped on its head there in the third.
Yeah, you never really know how these games are going to go, but it did kind of feel like at some point there's going to be a spark one way or the other, right? And some team's going to start hitting shots, and thankfully that was us. But yeah, we've talked a lot today about energy, and keeping really good energy on the floor and on the bench and just staying positive through those things. And I thought the guys did a really nice job of that. Yeah, Levi kind of opened it up there. Eric blocked a ton of shots.
I think I had some for 7.
Yeah, he was really a factor on the defensive end of the floor. Did a nice job of staying vertical. He even took a charge, so that was kind of nice to see. And just did a great job rebounding the basketball as well from a lot of different guys. So Yeah, proud of the way that we stuck with it. You know, we didn't get frustrated, even though we were struggling on the offensive end. Eventually, they did start to go, and then we had a nice slow run.
Well, and it felt like, you've been in a lot of close games this year. Norwalk the first time around, too, where that game, though, you kind of led the whole game. They kind of gave you a few charges. You had to hold them off. Your other 3 losses that we've talked about, and we saw it Thursday, you got a big run but couldn't hang on. Yeah. For the first time, Coach, in a close game, it felt like things clicked in the second half. It wasn't perfect, and it wasn't pretty all the time, but your defense was able to keep Norwalk off the board, and you built on that lead after getting that third quarter run, right, where it was 15-0. And talk about that, these late-game situations where you're still learning to have to win. These are the kinds of games, Coach, against teams of this talent and magnitude that you're going to need to see on the tournament run and need to beat. And it felt like your guys finally put it together here in a close game comeback.
Yeah, it was. It was good to see us just to have that run. And, it's nicer when you're making that run from down 3 instead of down 8. We've been pretty good in the third quarter all season long. But a couple times it's been we make that big run because we need to, and this time it was getting up on top. And that was good for us, like you said, just to learn how to finish games and really made some free throws down the stretch. I mean, I'm looking at our free throws here.
First half wasn't great, but
first
the second
half was terrible, yeah. But the second half, we really knocked them down. So that was good to see. Levi looks like he made 9 free throws. I think Eric's the only guy who missed free throws.
Yeah,
they were all in the first half.
Well, and to your point, and I wanted to bring up Levi. I mentioned it in the broadcast with Chris. Levi versus last year to this year, and even early in the season to now, really starts to feel like he's taking on that leadership role. We saw it at the Indianola game early in the season, whereas last year maybe his temper gets the best of him or he maybe becomes too much of the team. It feels like he's learned that balance and really has become kind of that spiritual leader. When you need something big to happen, Levi seems to be this season the guy, and it happened with his free throw shooting down the stretch and those 2 big shots he hit in the third.
Yeah, he's really growing. He is. He did a nice job tonight of just kind of managing the game, letting the game come to him. He can – there's times where we need him to force it a little bit, and he did that. But really at the end of the game, I thought he was great in just managing the floor, keeping the ball in his hands because he's a great free throw shooter, going to the line and knocking him down, even mixing it up with the defensive rebounding and getting a steal late in the game. So his energy level was really good tonight, so we'd love to see that.
Well, you got a bunch of practices before this, right? Between obviously some weather canceling some, but you got a full week of practice, and now you got a lot of games in a short amount of time. And Monday suddenly became a lot more critical maybe in the long term. I know you're not winning anything or going to state now, but the team that you would most likely see on a February night, February 26th, to go to state, you're going to get to see at the state tournament venue. That's Des Moines Christian, who, by the way, just knocked off conference leader Pella earlier this week. You don't want to put too much stock into one game or another, but it feels like there's a lot that can be learned Monday against a 2A state caliber team, and the team that you very well may have to beat to go to the Well coming up in February.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're looking forward to that. I think it'll just be a fun atmosphere. It's a little bit of a rivalry with Des Moines Christian, and we've kind of gone back and forth the past few years, and there's been we've met on the tournament run before, and obviously the chance to potentially do that again. We're not thinking too much about that right now, but I am just looking forward to getting there and enjoying it and playing a fun game. And I think that's important for our guys, just to enjoy this journey, and Monday night will be a fun part of it.
Well, it'll be a fun part, and not only that, with the likes of Adam Whitty and the team they have, and Coach Van Mersbergen, who, kind of similar to you in Western, has nothing but knowledge of PC basketball throughout growing up and being a player here. It's a great rivalry for a lot of reasons, and a great test for your team. As again, in this conference, you're seeing the great teams of 3A and 4A, but that's a chance to really maybe a little measuring stick say, hey, this is a 2A opponent and a team that, again, we're going to possibly see on the tournament trail, and one that would be a great representative, not that you want them to be, but a great representative at state this year. And I imagine some of those things will be a part of it, right? Great rivalry, but also a great test for your guys.
Sure. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And that's why I like the way our schedule plays out. I think we got some really good, obviously our conference, you have tough, fun games all the time. But now in the second half, we got Des Moines Christian and Van Meter as well. So that's good. And it's good to kind of have a measuring stick, like you said, in some of the 2A opponents. And we've had a few of them early on in the year, too. Just kind of see where we're at and, yes, like you said, just kind of measure ourselves against them. And we'll see. We'll learn a lot about our team then again, too.
Should be a really fun night. Tyler and Wynn will have that call coming up Monday night from the Well, girls-boys doubleheader in Des Moines. That's head coach J.D. Bohr following the team's 54-41 win over Norwalk. Coach, a lot of fun to see your guys here in action tonight, and I look forward to see them again real soon. But have fun Monday. That should be a real special night.
Yeah, man. I feel like I keep talking to you after losses, so this feels good to finally.
Yeah, DCG, Indianola,
all three
Pella.
of them, man. All three of them. So, yeah.
Let's.
We got that monkey off our back.
I'm not
Andrew is not the reason that we're losing those games.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm not going to make any comment about Pella, but I would be more than happy to talk to you after a win coming up with DC. Although I think it's Trevor you're going to see both times anyway. So you know what?
Got
Great.
It. Yeah, awesome.
Appreciate it, JD. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Appreciate you, Andrew.
We'll wrap it up after this from our Cabin Santa Pella Radio postgame show.
At Bruxford's Home Center, we have a great deal on appliance packages going on right now, including our most popular Frigidaire 4-piece kitchen package. It includes a stainless steel refrigerator, range, dishwasher, and over-the-range microwave for just $34.99 if you pick it up, or $37.99 with professional installation. Or stop in and let us customize a new appliance package just for you at Bruxford's Home Center, 405 Truman Road in Pella.
Are you a saver or a spender? Either way, we've got you covered at Community First Credit Union with 2 great reward checking options. Say goodbye to points and hello to cash. Our checking accounts are about money in your pocket, not points you'll never use. Simply meet monthly qualifications to get your rewards and unlimited nationwide ATM fee refunds. And no matter what happens, there is no monthly fee or minimum balance requirements. See for yourself what See First can do for you. Rules and qualifications apply, federally insured by the NCUA.
And this will wrap up our Cabinet Santa Pella Radio postgame show, where they expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations. Call Mike Blom, the cabinet guy at Cabinet Santa Pella. Let's take a look at our final stats from this boys game. Do have a Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update. Indianola pulling away from Pella. Final score 83-68. The Dutch, for the second time this season, have lost back-to-back games, and Indianola pulling away. Coach Larson said it from Norwalk in our broadcast here. Maybe the team to watch the second half of the season is Indianola. Obviously, a very good team coming the way from Warren County. Levi Skellhaus finishes with 19 points. Ice cold vein, blood in his vein, I should say. He was red hot from the foul line, 9 of 9 shooting there. Eric Mulder, 11 points, 13 rebound, double-double, 7 block shots for Mulder in this game. Tyson DeVries finishes with 8 points for PC. On the other side, it was 10 points each from Aiden Harder and Vinny Morrow. 8 turnovers for each team, both in this contest. Your final stats are presented by the Verduff Agency in Pella. Complete courteous service and more. If you're looking to expand and enhance your stats, trust Lance, Chad, and Larry at the Verduff Agency in Pella. Well, we have quite the road ahead, presented by PellaMotors.com. So for Eagles fans, a lot of fun coming Monday. Anytime you can play at a state tournament venue, it's special. I know that Pella Christian has full intention of playing at that venue in March with their boys team. But coming up, Wells Fargo Arena, Monday night, there's still a lot of general admission tickets. Eagles sold their full complement of tickets today. PC fans, love for you to be there, but if you can't make it, Tyler and Wynn will have that game for you live on 92.1 KRLS and KNIA, KRLS.com. Exciting just to be at that venue, and it should be a couple of really good games. Des Moines Christian's girls and the Des Moines Christian boys, again, who just knocked off Pella earlier this week. Should be a really great night for basketball Monday. Norwalk fans, I'm going to see you Tuesday at Pella High School. You're going to have a Dutch boys team looking to get off back-to-back losses and a girls batch. That's going to be a great battle. Pella versus Norwalk girls, probably 4th place decided in the conference, and I think whoever gets the opening bye in the Class 4A playoffs will be decided. That's the road ahead. On Tuesday night on 92.1 KRLS, and then Pella Christian on Tuesday will have Indianola in this gym here on the Pella Christian High School YouTube channel, presented by Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy. Make sure you make a donation to support the video stream at pceagles.org. So this will wrap things up here from Pella Christian High School, where the Eagles will split with the Warriors. It was Norwalk's girls 59-29, Pella Christian boys 54-41. You've been listening to Pella Christian Eagles basketball on the one to count on for today's local sports and the home of the Eagles. 92.1 KRLS. Have a fantastic weekend, Warriors and Eagles fans, and we'll see you next week at the Well. Have a good night.